Live stream kicking off in just a few minutes. One more audio check and we will fire things off. Stand by.
The logo is not above my head, is it?
Oh yeah, Gandalf, you have to. He said, IE said he's stuck at 50.
Sorry, what?
are now switched over, and we are in Waffles. DYGYCON 10 is here. Kick things off for us.
Hey guys, great to have all you guys here. So once again, DYGYCON is an immersive interactive space where blockchain projects can come together, find out what's good and interesting here. There's something for everybody. I want to kind of like run through this because, you know, just for the sake of time, and we got the notorious, awesome, our overlord at Splinterlands, Aggie or Aggroed here. So I want to just kind of get in to his talk so that we can get the schedule moving along.
All right, yeah, happy to do it. First off, let me just say I'm so excited that everybody is here and joining us. Thank you for your participation, and thank you for choosing to come to DYGYCON. This is our 10th DYGYCON. That's kind of amazing to think about because we do this only like once every other month. So we've been doing this for something like 20 months. It's almost 2 years running, or at least we're getting closer to that. So every single time we do this, Waffles Kitty helps bring in more people, and we help grow this activity just a little bit bigger, and that's exciting to me. The main thing that we try to do is welcome new people into the space and just you know, trying to make this inviting and find other partners and other games and other activities so that they can join us. And we're excited. It's awesome to have them here. It's awesome to see all these different sponsors come by. It's awesome to see all the people trying to collect some swag. And you know, the biggest part of this really is networking. That this is it's a big networking event, and you can, you know, learn about some companies here and there, but you know, this is a place for us all to gather, to hang out, to talk to each other and grow your network. Go find other people in the space and see what they're up to. And, you know, maybe you'll find a dev, or maybe you'll find a salesperson, or maybe you'll find a business guy or somebody that's creative, or who knows, manage your assets. Or maybe you have money and you're looking to like where you're going to park it, and you want to do Web3. Who knows? You know, there's a couple hundred people that are in here, and they're all interested in gaming and the space and Web3 applications. And so this is your chance. Get to know your neighbors and figure out, you know, what kind of way do you want to interact with folks. Now, just for general mental health, I'd suggest to everybody, you know, try to relax and have fun. I know it's been a bear market for a while, and that's a little bit brutal, but you know, it's not forever, and hopefully, you know, it won't be that much longer. So, you know, try. I like to channel Jen Psaki. You know, have a margarita, take a kickboxing class, try to relax, and do your best to go. Handle this experience the best you can, and this too shall pass. Splinterlands was built in the 2018 bear market. This is, I think, our third bear market, and this is probably the worst of them. You know, it's the longest, slowest, most grinding, but otherwise, you know, it's a you know, they'll go away. You know, the bears eventually hibernate, the bulls come back, and not only is it an exciting time to be building, but it you know, these are some of the few golden opportunities that you get to enter into crypto at a massive discount. So if you think that crypto is dead, then it's probably not wise to do. But if you're hanging out at DYGYCON, you probably think that this is a worthwhile venture and a meaningful part of your time and life. And maybe you'll see that there's opportunity in the bears, just like there is opportunity in the bull markets. And you know, this is where a lot of fortunes can be made by people that take bold action. So to our partners, thank you for sponsoring this event, and thank you for being here. Hopefully the folks that are attending get to learn more about you and your products. And you know, just generally speaking, I hope that this is a place where you can learn, a place where you can network, a place where you can find some friends, and you know, engage in sweet activities. One of those activities being Splinterlands. You know, Splinterlands is the host of DYGYCON, and it's a trading card game where players will buy and use cards in epic battles, and if you win those battles, you earn cryptocurrency. So it's a play to earn. It's one of the first play to earn games, and you know, we'll be announcing some additional titles coming out in the not too distant future. So hang out, have fun, meet your buddies, try not to stress too much about the bear market, and you know, have yourself an excellent time as you get to know some peers in the Web3 space. Welcome to DYGYCON.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aggie. It's always a pleasure to have you come in and welcome everybody. Everyone's always super hyped to have you kick us off for day 2 of DYGYCON. And we've already reached over 1,000 people attending, so it's been an amazing experience.
There's still 1 day left. There's still time. If you haven't jumped in to DYGYCON, you've got 1 day left. This is a 3-day event. It happens bi-monthly, so there will be another one within the next 2 months. I'm really excited for kind of the returning and the new partners that'll be a part of this event, and we'll have a chance to go through the schedule and speak to all of them. Aggie, before we part ways with you, I do have one question for you. Despite it being a bear market, what does it mean for trade volume? What are you seeing there?
Well, you know, prices have come down a bit. It's the middle of the pack edition, which is generally kind of a slow period, and then it's also a let's see, trying to get into here. Oh, right, wrong password. So it's the middle of the bear market, and it's the middle of our pack edition, which makes for slow times in general. But I say that, and we had 83,000 sales go through today. So it's a good number of volume. The cash value is something like $50,000. So and that's for NFTs being traded back and forth. So every day we're doing somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000, where player to player people are trading and being active. And I've seen that 100,000. We've been right around the 100,000 individual NFT sales per day. I personally try to come in here and buy up a bunch of the 1 cent commons. You know, I know that land is going to be out before too long, and you're going to want all the monsters you can get working your land. And those 1 cent commons are probably the least expensive way to man your fields and get ready for the hordes of people that you, as they try to like staff up their land.
That's super insightful, and that's not normally the kind of information that, you know, that is kind of relegated and shared. Like, you talk to some companies, and they like kind of a little apprehension. You know, it might be just because they're starting out, but I know you got Splinterlands as the OGs for the NFT kind of play to earn space, specifically for collectible card games. Are you still jamming, playing some like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering?
Oh no, I skipped that stuff. No. I mean, so I used to play a ton of Clash of Clans, is where I spent a lot of my like mobile gaming time. But once I got onto like Steam It and then started blogging, I was like, why would I play this stupid game that pays me nothing, where I could go write some blog that doesn't take me that long and actually start earning money? And then I got into Splinterlands, where I was like, why would I sit around and write blogs to make money if I could instead play a game? And then after I owned a lot of cards, I said, why would I sit around and play the game if I could go rent all of these things and passively earn an income? And it's been this kind of like weird journey to go from, you know, really trying to scrounge up every last penny that I could and try to make it so that on my personal finances, I had more cash flow coming in than expenses going out. And, you know, it took me a number of years in crypto, but certainly my personal net worth has gone up substantially because of crypto. And that's part of why I'm such a passionate advocate for this space, is that, like, you know, I started in 2016 with no crypto, no knowledge of this space. I mean, I'm a bright human being, and I'm willing to put in some work. But that's about the entire background I had. My dad made me do some like MS-DOS kind of programming when I was 8. So I sat on his lap and we started building some like fake worlds and figuring out well, how many school teachers would there be, and how many ninjas would be in the world, and just other random things that like a little 8-year-old might think of.
That's awesome.
But that little bit of programming stuck with me, and I used it to spin up like a witness, or I started running, you know, a Bitcoin node was one of the first things that I ended up doing in the space. And I just really started trying to teach myself whatever I could. And the more that I learned about it, the more that I just loved this space. Like, why would we entrust one group of people to print all the money? Like that in retrospect was really dumb.
If that was in a white paper, that's not a token I would sign up for.
Right. If like the United States government was like clear that like, hey, we're going to go create a shady organization, and that shady organization will have private ownership, and it will be as opaque as humanly possible and manipulate markets and do things for their own benefit, but not for the benefit of anybody else. And also, like in years of trauma and tribulation, they will print as much money in a day as the entire country makes in a year. You know, my answer would be like, oh, hell no. Like this is a horrible system. You know, if you own it, it's amazing, right? Like if you're the guy that gets to print the money, wow, that's fantastic. But for every other person, which is the 99.99999% of the rest of us, this is horrible. You know, like, you know, I want general peace and prosperity for everybody, and the current economic system doesn't allow for it, and it doesn't create it. And crypto, while not being perfect, is like leaps and bounds better than what previously existed. And so now decentralizing who gets the money, and not only who gets the money, but who gets to print it, who gets to make it, who gets to generate it, is like one of the most freeing, thoughtful, creative experiences that humankind has come up with since the invention of stuff like money. And Splinterlands, in my eyes, you know, cryptocurrency is just this like gift that keeps on giving, and it's incredible and world changing. But by itself, it's actually pretty hard to get into. You know, like not everybody is going to stop their life to start trading SHIB. But things like Splinterlands make for fun games where somebody might say, okay, well, I'll go play Splinterlands for 15 minutes. And in that experience, they start getting asset ownership. They have their own blockchain account, and they start with, you know, it's like a little backdoor into crypto, and that we kind of like scoop them up like little ninja style and get these people into the ecosystem. And they, you know, they start for a game and they start to earn rewards, and they stay because there's a life altering cryptocurrency experience that changes their path and their destiny forever. And if enough of us do this, I think we will change the face of this planet. And that instead of the few and the powerful being able to print money at whim, it will be all of us collectively working together on common sets of nodes, on common projects, generating our own money and making our own decisions, which I imagine will involve a whole lot less war, a whole lot less poverty, and a whole lot less of this giant Orwellian surveillance state.
And in your case, more play. And I love the idea of gamification.
Just hang out, you know, like just play video games. And, you know, maybe not everybody just sits around and plays video games, but, you know, if we apply play to earn to learn to earn and farm to earn and a million other things to earn, you know, we can actually get to some kind of economy where, again, it's not a handful of centralized people that control the fate of everybody, but it's all of us collectively running servers and setting our own destiny and coming together in voluntary confederations to say, you know, we've had enough of this crap and let's go do it a different way. And when enough people stand up and do that, the world will tremble, and it will be the people that finally rule. And I'm excited for that. You know, let's make that happen, because it has to be better than what we're offered today.
That is brilliant, Aggie. I really appreciate when you go on a rant and just kind of really spill it out on how you feel about this, because I asked about Hearthstone and Magic, and we went into modern money mechanics about the Fed and how that's a bunch of, you know. Anyway, the time now is getting close to the next interview. Waffles, do you want to close it out?
Yeah, thank you so much again, Aggie. Again, he is one of the co-founders of Splinterlands. Splinterlands is the host and sponsor of DYGYCON. Also, keep an eye out for Splinterfest, an IRL event happening this October 8 to 9 at the HyperX Esports Arena located at the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas. So don't miss out on that.
Yeah, come join us at Splinterfest. And kudos to MaxPower and in particular Pedro. And let's go give them a warm welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Aggie. Really appreciate it. And then we're just going to take a short break, and we'll see you at the next conversation with Mouse Hunt and with Pedro. All right, stand by.
Oh, for Pedro.
Hey, thank you, Aggie.
Hello. Welcome, neighbor.
All right, we've landed. We've landed. For anyone, all right, for this conversation, same rules apply for each AMA. Please continue to follow us around while we have these. All we ask is that you please mute your microphones while the conversation is taking place. Waffles may inadvertently kick you, but it's not because we don't like you. We love you all. We just want to make sure that we can hear Pedro and his team so we can talk to them and have a great conversation and learn more about Mouse Hunt. And Waffles. Again, these events just get bigger and better every time. Before we begin, was there something that's particularly interesting to you about this DYGYCON 10?
So just for everyone following along with us on the live stream, if you can't make it inside of the room, just be sure to click on the live stream link on the right side of your screen. For Mouse Hunt, this is actually their first time attending DYGYCON, so warm welcome to them. We're excited to hear more about them, so I just want to get right into it and welcome Pedro to the floor.
Hey, thank you, Waffles. It's really, really cool to be here. Such a nice event. It's so nice being able to walk around and you see the people express themselves in this 3D world. It's quite a refreshing experience after so many Zoom meetings. And yeah, I'd like to thank the Splinterland folks. I met Chatter and Hardpoint at San Francisco in a game developers conference event, and I saw their talks, and it can definitely tell that you guys know a lot about the space, a lot about blockchain gaming, and it's really cool to be part of an event with the Splinterland folks. Yeah, and I also like to welcome everyone that is here for the Mouse Hunt quick presentation here. I'd love to tell you a little bit more about our game and our universe and how you can get involved. So just jump right into what is Mouse Hunt. So Mouse Hunt is a game, is a blockchain game in a play-to-earn universe. And we have one game mode right now that is live that you can play and earn. So you can collect your mouse heroes, you can make synergies between them, you can play the game. It's a game made in Unreal 5. And we have all the ecosystem ready for you guys. You can purchase your heroes, you can purchase boxes, you can mint, you can open the Unreal 5 game, you can make synergies, and you can farm tokens, and you can actually withdraw those tokens to your wallet and earn real money by playing Mouse Hunt. This game mode's been live since April, and yeah, we have a pretty amazing engineering team and game development team. We're pushing the boundaries of how great games can come to the blockchain. You see that once you see some gameplay, once you download the game and you try it. We're really pushing the 3D art We're pushing the graphics. We're pushing gameplay. So that's what we've been delivering so far. But actually, Mouse Hunt is much more. The next game mode that is coming out is called Castle Heist, and that's a multiplayer PvP real-time action game. So what do you do in that game, you ask me? So there's a team versus team game of mouse heroes and ghost villains. So the mouse heroes, they invade a haunted castle in search of the ancient cheese of yore. That's the oldest cheese in the universe. They have their shotguns in hand, they have their movement abilities, and there's something hidden in the castle. The cheese is so damn smelly that it actually created life. And the ghosts now come from the smell of the cheese and they want to protect their source of power. And they'll try and kill all these invading rodents by possessing any objects within the castle. So, in one end, you have mouse heroes with shotguns. In the other hand, you have ghost villains possessing all the objects in the castle to try and kill the mouse heroes. So they can possess a chair and throw them at the mice. They can possess a knife, an axe, and throw them at the mice. They can activate fireplaces and suits of armors to go and kill those invading rodents. So it's a very fun, very streamable game. You know, at one point you are a hero. The other point you are a ghost. There's a lot of different gameplay, and actually, there's a twist in it all. That here at Mouse Hunt, death is not the end. When you die as Mouse Hero, it's not game over. It's game on. You go right back into battle as a ghost. So yeah, you change teams, and now you have to kill your former teammates, and that makes for very fun gameplay with your friends. So I can talk a little bit about our token and our economy. I think this is a matter of interest for everyone here. So right now we have a token that is live in BSC, Binance Smart Chain, and the name of the token is MHT, is Mouse Hunt token. It's been live since December 21st of 2021 was when we launched the token, and it's with that token that you can go to our marketplace. It's a player-to-player marketplace, and you can see all the orders that the players have created from the NFTs that they have been collecting. The idea of the game is to have these two game modes. There's one single-player game mode that is already live. You can play it right now and start earning. And there's the PvP coming up pretty soon later this year. After every match, you'll be earning MHT, cryptocurrency, and you'll also be earning an in-game currency that's going to allow you to buy different things to upgrade your NFTs, for example, levels and ranks. So in Mouse Hunt, you can actually buy, a not so expensive NFT, and you can actually level it up. You can increase its levels, increase its rank, get more and more powerful. What does that do? That increases the farm rate, the stamina, increases their strength, their dexterity, their willpower, their luck, all the stats that really matter for gameplay. So they get stronger, and you guessed right, it also increases their value and their price. So you can buy NFTs, you can farm with them, you can level them up and sell them for more money later. And even, go from commons to rares, from rares to epics, and from epics to legendary. So you can get better and better, stronger and stronger NFTs as you play the game. Right now we have also something very exclusive here for DYGYCON. And I'm very happy to announce that we have sold one of our 3 items that are auctioned already.
Ooh, congratulations.
And thank you. Yeah, we've sold it for more than 5,000 MHT. That's around $500. It was the first Ghost NFT. So up to this point, we had only sold Mouse Heroes. And now we're getting ready for the PvP. And, to play the PvP, you need a mouse and you need a ghost. So as we get ready to launch the PvP, we've started selling the ghosts. And we chose DYGYCON to do our first auction of that. So right now there's only 2 legendary boosters for sale, as the third one was already sold. You guys can check it out. It's on our slide deck right behind me. There's a QR code, there's a link. You can check out the orders in our own marketplace. It's a pretty cool auction concept that I myself had never heard before of, but it was a suggestion from our CTO. That is a Dutch auction, and on Dutch auction the prices starts very high, and after 1 hour or so, after actually a number of blockchain blocks, because of course we don't count time in seconds, we count time in blocks. After X amount of blocks on the blockchain, the price goes down, and the price keeps going down up until the end of the event. And you can wait until the price goes lower, but you incur the risk of someone buying it before you, and you leave empty-handed. So it's a pretty cool Dutch auction model that we're able to implement in just a day of coding on our marketplace. So I was pretty happy to do to release that for you guys. So yeah, there's 2 boxes. You can check it out. Try to snatch it at the price that the other one was snatched, or just follow it. Yeah. So also another really big thing that we're doing here at MouseHunt is expansion. So on marketing, we're doing a major expansion plan to bring traditional gamers into our game. And the idea is that, we want to make a game that is fun first. And when you watch gameplay, of our game, you're going to notice that. So you can Google for the 2018 version of our game. Like, we've been developing this game since 2018. We decided to do a major upgrade on 2021 with bringing it to the blockchain. But on the multiplayer version, it's all about the fun and the gamers. So we were thinking, like, why would we limit, our ecosystem just for 3.0 players when we can also bring on board 2.0 players? And we've just made a hire of a head of user experience that's going to be, tasked with creating a very nice onboarding experience for those users. And the idea is to flood MouseHunt with millions and millions of players and really bring this game to all over the world, bring on board all these users from 2.0 to 3.0. There's something that the Hardpoint, the CTO of Splinterlands, said on his talk at GDC. He's always talking about frictionless crypto and how do we make the user experience frictionless in our world. And that really struck me hard. He asked me if I ever speak about that, I should mention that it was him that coined the term. So here I am doing that. And it's something that we know that's very important for the success of any game, of any project, of anything that is done in crypto. The onboarding experience, the first time user experience must be very, very good. So that's a huge focus that we have here at MouseHunt. And yeah.
You want to open it up to some questions?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think I spoke quite fast. I can't keep speaking, but I'd love to, interact with people that are around.
Well done, Pedro. Yeah, you were really literally answering the questions that I had in my head, and you even confirmed it while you were going through the presentation. Like, yes, you guessed it. And I was like, okay. I really appreciate this. I did have the QR code just for peace of mind and for your team maximum benefit over the live stream. The QR code is available. It is in the slide presentation. Please click through, and if you want to get access to the auction. Where was the inspiration for the Dutch auction, by the way? That was a really clever idea. I mean, it seems like it would operate like a traditional auction house in a game, right?
Yeah, that was the first time I heard of it too.
Yeah, as I said, I haven't heard of it before, so I'm very lucky to have a very intelligent CTO. So he comes up with these solutions, because we were gonna do in a third party auction or marketplace that does auctions, but they were taking a lot of time to reveal the things, and it was just not going as fast as we needed. And then he just one day he calls like, Pedro, let's leverage all the marketplace that we've built. Let's leverage with what we already have, and let's make a Dutch auction. I'm like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? And then it was like, oh, this sounds very cool, right? Like you see the pricing going down, and you're like, should I buy? Should I wait? And yeah, it ended up being really cool. With our first box already being sold, and we layered it, right? So the first box started at 10,000 MHT, I believe, or 8,000 around there. And the second one a bit above. So we have a stairs of a stair of boxes prices, and they're coming down every hour or so. And yeah, take a look. There's even people on the chat. I'm Dutch, and I didn't even know about Dutch auction. So yeah, the more you learn, right?
And what was some of the inspiration for the characters that were designed for Mouse Hunt?
So for Mouse Hunt, actually, we got together, with the rest of the game developers, and I said, hey guys, like we are all very different. So the original concept creators for this game was 6 people. So it's me. I'm originally from Brazil. There's a guy from Finland. There's a guy from China. There's a guy from Mexico. A guy from Ecuador, and a guy from Turkey. So we got together. And we're like, okay, we're all from different backgrounds. Like, how are we gonna make a game together that can be coherent, cohesive, has a good team and theme, and makes sense. And then we just wrote on the board things that we liked, and we let's go from somewhere. And believe it or not, a thing that all of us liked was Tom and Jerry. So we just picked up from there. We brought a lot of the slapstick humor. And slapstick humor is that humor, of the cartoonish humor of things breaking, a character getting squished, things flying around, everything, this chaos. Like, it's something that we identify with. We grow up with that. It's kind of nostalgia for us. So we say, how do we bring that in a game in an interesting way? And then it came like my love for multiplayer games, as a game designer, as a level designer. I worked for example, in Halo Infinite as a campaign level designer. I worked in Gears of War as a multiplayer level design, making full multiplayer competitive esports levels there. And I said, like, I want to make a challenging game for myself as designer, right? And I decided to go with asymmetrical multiplayer. And asymmetrical multiplayer is when a team has complete different abilities than the other team, and it's a real balancing challenge, right? So that's how Mouse Hunt was born. Tom and Jerry plus asymmetrical multiplayer, just like the cat and the mouse, right? Like it's their weapons are different, their move speeds are different, the way they interact with the word is different, right? The mouse is always feeling vulnerable. He has to hide. He has to duck. He has to dodge. He has to dash. And the cat or the ghost, they are powerful. They own the environment. They can be anywhere at any point in a just a jump and a click of a button. So that's how this concept was created. And then it was all about following the fun, right? That's a very strong game design concept where you create a prototype, you let people play, and then you ask them, what did you like about this game? What didn't you like? And then you just iterate, you work on top of it, you make it polish. And that's why, it's a game that's been shown all over the world since 2018. We took it to DreamHack Atlanta and the United States for an esports event. We came second on the pitch deck over there. We were prized with best game design for this game. So it's something that it's a product that has endured the passage of time, and it's just a fun and nice experience for our players.
You brought up something very interesting about AAA game developers and I guess kind of moving in this direction. Before I ask this question, for anyone else who does have any questions, please share it in chat, and then we'll share it here with Pedro. But please, I've one more question for you about what do you see in your view? Is there a trend of game developers, whether they're like artists, musicians, etc., that are moving more towards Web3 and more play-to-earn game design?
I think it's not that they are moving towards 3.0, but 3.0 is growing so much that we're encompassing them, right? It's all about, again, that frictionless experience, right? Like, you are a game developer, you're making game design, you're making art, and then suddenly someone asks, "Hey, man, like, hey, or girl, like, have you ever done like a art for a crypto game? Like, come, like, your art's gonna be minted on the blockchain. It's gonna be forever there. There's a record of it. It's unique. People will be able to own it. They'll be able to trade it. And it's more about that, right? It's about how do we welcome them, rather than how do they come to us, right? That's how
Yeah.
we see here at Mouse Hunt, right?
Yeah, we can't find like artists and game developers fast enough, and the time it takes, right, to really onboard somebody, and or through orientation, there's very much a time-consuming process that goes into because you really want to find an artist that's going to love what they do, working on a new project, but at the same time, you want to be able to accurately tell the story, right, that you're trying to tell. We are about 2 minutes away before we need to wrap things up. There were a couple of things that were mentioned. I know there was a question. It looked like they're already answering it about opening up the NFT once they purchased it off the auction. When will that be available?
It seems like someone just bought the second one. Congratulations. Congratulations, my friend.
No, congrats to you, Pedro, and your team. Yeah, that's excellent.
I'm happy for him. It's so nice. I don't have a ghost yet. I'm a bit jealous, actually.
Will there be cats?
I think I'll buy the third one. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure Waffles wants to know if there's going to be cats.
I definitely want to know that.
Not for now. They're too OP.
Yes.
We need to take care of our little mice.
It could just be, some kind of a raid boss that just slams a paw into the dungeon and
maybe,
just
yes,
randomly.
Maybe the ghosts team up with the mice to kill the.
See, there you go. Yeah, if you find a common enemy, right?
Yes.
I love isometric games. I'm a big fan of them ever since I was little. I played a lot of Diablo, Baldur's Gate, right? I still play like Dota and League. I love that model because of how easy it is to be able to see the playing field, right? It feels like a chessboard, but in this case, we get to bring in our favorite 3D characters. Pedro, if there's one bit of advice that you would give to anyone who would be interested in kind of pursuing launching, their own play-to-earn game, what would that be?
I would say, study game design for sure. It sounds like, there's a book, I can even recommend it. It's the Book of Lenses, the Art of Game Design Book of Lenses from Jesse Shell. That book is gonna teach you everything. It's like the game design Bible. And other than that, make sure you get help and you make a team. You cannot do it by yourself. It's making games is very, very challenging. Right now we have 29 full-time employees here at Mouse Hunt. And the team is still growing. I just made a couple interviews yesterday. So yeah, build a team, find people that you trust and that can, help you build and help you achieve your vision. And I mean, the third advice is focus on the player. Don't make a game that you want to play. Make a game that your players want to play. That's very important when making video games.
That's great advice, and I really appreciate your time. Congratulations to you and the team for all the milestones and the achievements that you've made so far, and selling that last auction item. That's outstanding that it happened during the AMA. Waffles,
Yeah.
Any final thoughts for you, or do you want to take it away to our next AMA?
I was gonna ask, I was curious, when we were in the party room earlier, I know, Pedro, you were sharing your screen, and I was like, is there something that is not on the slides that you have in the booth that you are keeping from us? Or are you allowed to say anything that's not on there?
No, I was just testing I was here at my booth before testing the slide, and then just ran there and it didn't shut off. But it's the same slide deck that is here behind me. You have You can see the ghosts. You can see a little bit more about the project. There's also links to our Discord, to our white paper, to our website. And yeah, so I'd also take the opportunity to invite everyone to join our Discord server. We're very, very active. You know, Belladonna and Keone and Kanks here are from the team. They're here, and even Breno, our video editor, and they they always complain to me. It's like, Pedro, we have so many announcements to do. There's so much going on here at Malzahn that, you know, we can't flood our players with so much events and informations and championships and giveaways. There's so much going on. So yeah, if you want to be a part of a live, breathing, beating community, you will be very welcome here at Malzahn.
Excellent. Thank you all. Thank you again. And I guess we really should wrap this up, Waffles, and get to the next one. We have a few minutes before our next AMA session. Who's on deck?
We have Castle's NFT with Robert Trusardi from Metaverse Games.
Excellent. So we're going to get into the next one with him. We're going to take a short break. You may have noticed that GamerJibe has recently rebranded. We are now Inverse. So all the events that you've seen, from DYGYCON to ETH Denver to MCM to Game On Summit, all of those online conventions that have been happening on GamerJibe, still going to be happening in the same great place, but we are now going to be rebranding as Inverse. I'm going to play a short video for everybody if you're still watching the live stream. Pedro, we're going to bid farewell. Thank you again to the team. We really appreciate your time, and thank you for hanging out with us at DYGYCON. Maybe we'll see you in Vegas during Splinterfest. Yeah?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, all of you, take care, and then we'll see you at the next AMA. Hang tight, because I've got a nice, I've never seen before. This is brand new. This is a new promo video for Inverse. Here, this on-ramp to the Metaverse platform, which makes it easy for anyone to host an event, have meetings, and do it in a place where you can bring your brand. Hang tight. All right, next up, we're going to have an AMA with Robert Trusardi, Metaverse Games CEO. We are heading over to the NFT Horizon booth. Hang tight just a few moments while we get everyone set up. And we're going to play some footage from DYGYCON 8 and 9. Enjoy. Get some. Yeah, there it is. It's just like we're just creating sparks.
Wow.
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah,
shake
is that
hands.
also known as
Let's
Waffles
go.
Kitty?
Yes,
Aw,
also known
look
as
at
Waffles
that.
Kitty. So
Hey.
I have Pete here. He's my cameraman that's handling the live stream. We will do a little intro, then we'll let you take the floor, and we'll ask everybody to mute their mics.
Great. Yeah, I'm kind of having a problem right now that I was afraid I was going to have, which is I think your voice is coming over my microphone thing. But guys, let me know if you can hear Sarah okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just turn up the desktop audio. We'll see. You guys let me know if you have any trouble with the audio between me and Sarah. Second thing, my headphones apparently broke. They're not working anymore. So I'm like,
no.
I can hear just fine.
You sound great.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Oh, I meant on my live stream as well, because I'm doing a live stream.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, you can just fix the just mute the live stream on the side if you have it popped open.
Yeah. Why? I guess on this side, I wanted to basically make it so that your audio from the desktop, because I think the problem right now is they can hear you through my microphone, which is where the audio might get weird. Because I'd prefer to have it go straight through the desktop, but I guess it's something I couldn't fix until right now.
We'll work through it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, right now what I've done is I've put you also on the desktop audio.
Oh, yeah, you can just like lower the volume on that.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Robert, you'll be doing most of the talking anyhow.
Great. I love that. Perfect. You guys are so amazing.
Excellent.
I like you already.
Excellent.
All right, so without further ado, are we good to go, Pete?
Yeah, fire it off. We're
Right.
good.
Awesome. So we've seen castles appear before at DYGYCON. They did have a hall with us before, and then now they have like a booth here again at DYGYCON. So they're back with something to present to us here. So I'll let Robert take over.
Great. Thank you, guys. Let's see. So present is basically mean talk, right? Oh, I guess I have my video off right now, but that's okay. I don't think I'm gonna have my video both on the live stream and the and DYGYCON at the same time. But hi, I am Robert Trusardi. I am the creator of Castles and Metaverse Games. We make castles, and you know, for a very long time, I just wanted a really good game where I could actually own my game assets. So, you know, I've been a gamer most of my life, and I would play games like World of Warcraft, and I was like, why can't I own the gold coins that I earn? Why can't I own the armor that I make? And I knew the answer was because, you know, they had a safe business model of selling the content and subscriptions directly, and they didn't need to take the risk of creating marketplaces and things between players, because it was a whole other level of business, right? But for years I was really just dissatisfied with not having that, and you know, played other games like you know, Project Entropia just a little bit, just to test the waters. And in that particular game, I just felt like it was too nerdy. The barrier to entry was too high. It felt too much like a giant gambling simulator. And then there was Second Life, which was a little bit different. And I tried it out, and it just didn't hit any of, you know, it wasn't World of Warcraft. It was something else entirely. It was more of like a social simulator, and I didn't like the economics either, because it was too much built around purely content creation, and not like, I wanted to go fight a monster or build a farm like create a potion shop and like things like this, and it didn't have the right economics. So when blockchain games came around, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. Let's build this kind of thing. So we've kind of had an interesting journey, and where we've ended up here with Castles is that in Castles, you can start by playing the land game. You can basically get farms and then upgrade them into ranches, upgrade the ranches into villages, and then from there you can merge them all the way up to a castle. And we actually have a really strong economy. I think we have arguably the strongest economy inside of blockchain games right now. People, I don't think enough people have been paying attention to our assets and kind of the way they've been holding value. But every once in a while we get a person who kind of starts to put the numbers together, and they're like, oh, actually, this is a really strong play to earn game. I think we've had really strong retention with our users, and we focus a lot on the actual gameplay. My philosophy has always been that people, when they play to earn games, or they play a game where they actually own their assets, that their time and effort is rewarded. And so we just had users today in the chat being like, hey, your guys' systems are like not about gambling and stuff like a lot of other games, or a lot of other proposals for other games, or like people make proposals for our game all the time about changing things. We're like, that's too much like gambling. We don't like that. We want to make sure that there's some kind of substantive something, like your time and effort is actually like a commodity that you then get to trade with other players if you want. And so things have been really great. We have a dungeoning expansion coming up here soon. We posted a video showing basically a preview of what it's like to have your hero and customize your hero. We have like 11 different customizable pieces for your hero, and then your hero can also change the colors of their equipment. We have a range from common to mythic equipment. So we just played basically a video just showing people what this actually looks like. What it looks like is, is like customizing a character like a lot. And so we get a lot of comment. We have like almost like a 15% I forget what you call it, like activity rate on the video. So like every like 15% of the people who watch the video are actually commenting on it right now. So it's an engagement. So we have really high engagement on that video for this dungeoning expansion coming out. And we grind really hard. We work really hard to keep building the game. And that's Castles. Castles is all about building this fantasy world where you get to build wealth, influence, and glory. And so, yeah, that's the pretty much the hot topics, who I am and what Castles is. I don't know if you guys have any questions with this. We could kind of go from there. I can just keep on talking. That's cool too.
No, I always have questions.
Okay, nice. Let's throw them at me.
So we will be pulling some questions from chat as well. So if you did have any questions for Robert, feel free to post them in there. One of the questions that I like to do is just kind of understand, because this is our first time speaking, you and I. So origin story, the inspiration behind kind of Castles, and what was that aha moment for you where you're like, this is a project that needs to become reality?
Yeah. It was a couple of things, but the first thing that happened to me was that I'd kind of reached the end of my ropes working in Hollywood. I had been a filmmaker for many years and been trying to work that out. I really wasn't happy with where I was at. I felt like I didn't have the community that I wanted, even after all these years in Hollywood. I just didn't feel like I was in the right place. And I tried getting into sales, and I liked sales because it was more social. I got outside of the writing room and the editing room. But I still wasn't happy with that either. And I've always been a technology guy, even though I've mostly focused on movies. I have a lot of different touch points in technology. I used to work for Disney.com, maintaining their homepage. It's actually my first job right out of high school. And but I was like, what? I've been waiting for a while for this whole, like, play World of Warcraft and get to own all your items thing. And I was looking at blockchain, and I'm like, well, I've been following blockchain for a long time. I don't actually own any crypto. At least I didn't back then. Now I do. But back then I was like, well, I've never owned crypto really. I mean, maybe for a hot minute, but I was like, I know this technology can make that happen. And at the time, I don't even think I realized the real marketplaces were out there yet. I don't think I even really understood the marketplaces. But what happened was I just had an idea for capturing a player's time and effort as value, as a commodity. I actually have a patent pending for that specific technology, but I just had this like epiphany. And over time, we've actually taken this technology and we've kind of made it a secondary or a tertiary goal for us, because we think it's not ready yet. We think in order for that patent to work well, it probably needs to use a human verification technology. So that would mean like your computer camera being able to verify that you're a human being. We don't think there's a way to properly protect against bots without it. But this technology I'm talking about would basically allow you to play any video game that allows it. To capture time and value as commodity and then use it. And if you're familiar with all the games, it's basically like a much better version of what they're trying to do. But we do think that we need like a human verification technology in order to make that work. So in the meantime, what we've done is we're like, you know what, let's just make play to earn games, or make games where you actually get to own your time and effort. You get to own your assets, and let's learn how to do this the right way. And as we've been progressing, we're like, what we're really doing here is we're Castles is basically like the beachhead for us. It's like us, showing up inside of like NFT, Metaverse, play to earn gaming, where you actually player ownership gaming, where you own your assets and being able to prove that we know what we're doing. And we feel really good about it. We think, the data that we're collecting, we have high user retention. People seem to love the game. We focus largely on enjoyment of the game. Like the actual playing of the game is enjoyable, rather than, a lot of people come into the game, they're like, well, what's the ROI? And we're like, is the game fun? Like let's deal with first things first. Is our game fun? If it is, well then, maybe we can talk about like market activity, because that's completely secondary. We sell our game items as collectibles and as gameplay, and not as an investment. So and so we think that's working really well. And we actually spend majority of our time working on that. We still haven't really looked for investment from other people, from venture capitalists or anything, because we've been largely focused on making sure that we're doing the fun gameplay thing right. And our players seem to think so. They can't stop talking about how they enjoy the game. And we take that as a sign that we're moving in the right direction.
I really appreciate that. That was a really in-depth kind of exploration, really on the kind of the genesis, right? The birth of kind of these ideas and where you find this inspiration from. I'm going to switch gears over to roadmap, because I know that, for a developer, it's really exciting, because we try to think of all these awesome features and, game mechanics and ways that can help feel that the game is rewarding and fulfilling, but also dynamic at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
What are some interesting kind of roadmap I guess milestones that are coming up that you can actually share?
Yeah, what we have is our Dungeons expansion is coming up very soon. We're working on a couple of the systems, and we've actually started to sell some of our hero packs already. And we think we're probably going to be able to let our players open the hero packs and start to actually customize their heroes within the next 3 weeks to a month. So within that time frame, people will be able to start to get their heroes out, start to customize them. The battling of monsters, because you'll be able to battle monsters and stuff, is going to come a little bit later, just because it takes time for us to roll out these systems. But that's what's next big on the roadmap. My business partner and I just actually announced that we have a couple of new features coming out. We have crafters in the game, so we're just about to announce the next crafter, and the next crafter will probably be available maybe in the first week of August. So this is probably the first anyone's hearing about this right now, but we're thinking probably like very, very early August, like the first week of August, we're looking at the new crafter coming out. And then after that, we have what's called a guild, sorry, not a I shouldn't say guild, I should say a wonder. We have wonders in our game. Basically, our idea is that like the players help construct these wonders. So far, the players have constructed 2 of them. One shares wax income from our drops, and basically we have assets in our game that we trade and distribute for wax, and we basically give a percentage of that back to the players. The percentage depends on the asset, but we have almost about $5,000 worth of wax tokens that will be redistributed to players at the end of this month. And I think our biggest redistribution was close to $30,000 worth of wax tokens. That's one of our wonders does. And we haven't released yet what this upcoming wonder is going to do. But I think actually, in a week or two, if people look at all the stuff that we have in the pipeline, it's going to make their head spin. We actually have a lot of features coming out on the roadmap. And it's always about, expanding the game and making it fun. And, we get lots of ideas all the time, like, ooh, like, what if we let the players do this and that and that? We're like, but is it fun? If we are going to add another layer of complexity to the game, is that actually going to bring enjoyment to them? And if the answer is no, we usually, skip the idea or table it to see if we can make it fun later. But yeah, we think we have some more fun stuff coming down the pipeline people are going to love.
Well, thank you, Robert. I really appreciate that. We've got a few more minutes for anyone who may have questions. Feel free to just post those in chat. Did you want to take any questions that you're fielding from your live stream? You're welcome to do so as well. Just feel free to interrupt me. But I'm just going to keep throwing questions at you if that's okay.
Yeah, well, I'll take your questions, and then after that, I can take my community questions.
Okay, sounds good.
Be live streaming
so we've got about 7 minutes left, and it looks like we've got. Does anyone want to hop on voice? Don't be shy. If you want to hop on voice and you feel brave enough, now's the time to do it. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we don't have any brave individuals that want to come in on voice chat, or maybe they're finding their mute button. Either way, feel free to raise your hand, or you can just gently interrupt the conversation at any time. So, Robert, the game development world comes with lots of unique challenges. I asked this question also in the previous AMA. One of those challenges is finding the right artist or team member, developer, or coder, or marketing. You said that you came from Hollywood originally. Are you seeing an exodus of, I would say, kind of traditional AAA game developers, right, that are off-chain, right, film in the film industry, right, taking a look at Web3 and saying that's really interesting, I'd like to go there? Or is it really Web3 is kind of like a vacuum and we're trying to pull in as much talent as we can? From your perspective, what does that look like?
I think we're more of a vacuum. I was actually just listening to a podcast today of some very big game developers, like the guy who founded Blizzard North that made Diablo, and they're talking about what's the future of gaming. And I've only listened about half of it so far. No one's even mentioned NFTs or metaverses or blockchain, and I'm just like, really?
Wow, that's very telling.
I think the reason is because they're kind of dealing with what the current opportunity is, which is a lot of multi-platform gaming. So having a game that you can use on PC, on Xbox, on Nintendo, and these kinds of developers are already so big and they're such big names. They kind of have to address the massive markets out there in order to really capitalize on the existing marketplace. But what we're building right here, for me, in NFT and blockchain-based gaming and player ownership, we're more like we've just landed the ships on the beachhead of America. And the only thing here is basically untamed lands, maybe some natives, but otherwise it's you can make your own way in this land of opportunity. And that is something much riskier, for both the players and the developers. There's a lot of unknowns. But that's what I feel like it is. We're really just on the frontier of what we're building here. And there's no, there's very few rules. It's a really new space, and so I think we're more like a vacuum, and we're starting to pull people in, and I think there's a lot of risk here. There's a lot more risk here than most people are willing to take on. So I have respect for anybody who's in this space and trying to build it.
Excellent. We do have a question.
I think the reason why there's some AAA game creators that are not really saying stuff like what you're saying for your podcast is not And not only is like a majority of them are pretty like up there in the industry, and they're kind of more risk averse at this time. Maybe they're not in that that season or something like that. But also like there's also like some politics, I believe, that's like kind of involved in that too. Like sometimes like, oh, don't say anything about NFTs or crypto, and like people just like look at you weird. I mean, I used to look at my uncle weird too when he talked to me about this like 2 years ago. So like I think it just needs some time, right? You know?
I'm that uncle to my nieces and nephews.
Yeah, I
me.
think you're right that there's there's a little bit of a stigmatism towards blockchain, and it's kind of hard to help people understand what we're building here. And I think the reality is we still don't have a really easy way for the masses to adopt this technology. And there is a conversation around consumer protection that is really not existent in the current space. And I think that's what it's going to take for mass adoption, is protecting consumers. I actually talk about this a lot. In fact, I was just messaging DApp Radar the other day, because DApp Radar, you know, they have a great platform that tracks all these games and stuff. And they just posted an article like the other day, and they're like, oh yeah, Farmers World, one of the biggest games on Wax. And I'm like, actually, Farmers World turned out to be a rug pull. They took about $100 million worth of earnings and they've left, which might be legal, but the game is basically dead and nobody's playing it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they don't even know. But, you know, how do we protect consumers from that? And this is one of the problems I have with the space we're on right now, which is Wax blockchain, which is there were a lot of projects that were grifters, mainly Farmers World, that took $100 million worth of user value, and that could have been reinvested into the space to make the game bigger and draw more users here. Instead, they vacated, and, you know, instead of having that money build the space, it's we're not able to build the value in the space that we wanted. So it's kind of example of it, and it's kind of the situation we're in right now. And so I think, you know, what's really going to bring the users in is when there's a platform that's able to really protect consumers. I know that a lot of people are like, oh no, decentralization. I'm like, whenever you start to say that, you start to pull in the grifters and the botters and all the people who want to basically steal money from the hard playing users. And I'm like, but when we get to figure out a way that we can actually protect the players, that's where things are really going to get mass adopted, and the sentiment is going to change. Until we have that, we're still like in the wild, wild west. That's just the way I see it.
We have
there's a couple questions in the chat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Great. No, you're reading my mind. Go ahead.
Oh, I think one was, what was Gandalf's question was, what are you most proud of in the game?
Yeah, what feature specifically are you most proud of?
Yes.
What I'm most proud of is our partners at Apex NFT. It's not necessarily a feature, but we gave them a vision for like a website that's like alive and is a lot of fun. We originally had a website that was just really it was kind of awful, basically, and it wasn't greatly designed. It was kind of ugly, but we went in, we put a lot of work to basically make it look like a fun game. That when you go to castles, it feels alive and it feels like this is a premium gaming experience, AAA. And so we put a lot of work into the look and the feel of the website so that it feels like you're playing with a toy, like any great game should. And so I think that's one of the best features. I mean, we love our economy, our in-game economy. We think it's really strong and healthy and how that works. But I think the big accomplishment is being able to tie in, the simplicity of playing like a Wax blockchain and minting things and merging things and earning tokens and turning that into experience that just when you do it, it feels fun. It looks fun.
Awesome. And then another one in the chat which shows you is like, what's your future outlook? 1, 3, 5 years?
For this particular game, like how long is it going to last? Is that what?
No, some of the things that you kind of have. I think we talked a little bit about the roadmap, but like,
Yeah, well, we have a Castles 3D game in the planning. We're not developing it at the moment. I kind of have like a little design paper that I write from time to time. But it's in our trajectory, And by the time we release that, then we're also going to start using the patent pending technology I have for basically capturing a player's time and effort as value, like as a commodity. And it'll be used in many multiple games, but it'll probably possibly start with Castle's 3D game. So, you know, we believe that as a player plays a game, they should be able to have their time and value be captured as an asset. And so we want to do that in actual 3D world, like a persistent playable 3D game. And not just like, you know, a click on a button to mint a card, to merge a card, to earn a token. You know, we want to go way beyond that. You know, we think that actual, you know, playable games is like, you know, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, you know, Nintendo games, like whatever kind of game you can think of, can actually have your time and value be captured, time and effort captured as value. So, and we think that that's going to start to turn its head closer, like in 5 years. So people are going to start to see that, and part of that will be the human verification technology I'm talking about. You know, being able to verify that the actual human being who is registered with the game is actually playing the game. So do we have another 7 minutes, or we, because for some reason I thought it was until 12:20. Am I wrong or right about that? Or my time, 12:20.
Oh yeah, so you have some time to get a couple things, and then we'll move on to the next thing on the schedule.
Okay. Okay, cool. Do you guys play Castles at all? Anybody?
This will be my first time playing as a new player.
Okay. Cool.
What do you recommend?
I recommend getting a castle. Getting you know, if you can go big, get a castle, get a baron. And then I think the lumberjacks and the carpenters are fairly affordable, but really kind of the big thing right now in the game is becoming self-sustainable. If you can get a castle or a baron, you can basically be self-sustaining for creating new game assets. And that's one of the things that really makes our game work, is that you do need some certain assets to be self-sustainable, and they're not necessarily the cheapest. I think Castle right now minimum is like $300. Same thing with the Baron. But once you can get these assets, it gives you access into self-sustaining, creating new assets, and we do want to make a free-to-play version that basically doesn't touch the main economy, so that way it can't get, you know, botted or something. But we find that works, that people really like being self-sustainable, and when we add our dungeoning aspect, it's going to make self-sustainability even more important. Because hey, if you want to basically use your heroes all the time, or have them fighting monsters all the time and using all their stamina and making sure that they're being highly effective, well, then you're probably going to need a castle too, and this starts to kind of, you know, deepen it. And I think the real world highly functions this way. You know, like if you want to not have to pay rent, you have to own property. So you know, and I do think that model, as we've seen in the real world, works really well. You get to kind of call the economic shots if you own a place, you know, and so we think that's really working. So yeah, I would suggest you know, get a castle, a baron if you can, and if you like the game, well, then just start accumulating those. One of the fun parts we have in the game is basically we let players start to craft their own land packs. So we have something called a explorers pack, which has 2 lands in it, and another land pack called a Seafarer pack, which has 5 lands in it. And so you're able to basically use resources in the game to craft these packs, and then you can either open the packs or you can sell the packs. If you open the packs, well, then that allows you to keep building up more lands, make more castles, and basically grow your kingdom to become more self-sustainable, to make more lands and stuff like that. So it's a really fun game loop. We find a lot of people love to post in the chat. They're like, oh, I just finished crafting the Seafarer pack. I just opened it. And they're like, yeah, it like had a town in it, which is awesome, or basically had all farms. We call those sea farmer packs. So, because it's full of farms. but yeah, the self-sustainability to getting to craft your own lands, to merge up to castles, and really castles are the crown jewel of the game right now, because they have what they allow you to mint what we call royal seals, and the royal seals get you a lot of the self-sustainability into the game. So
Excellent.
castles, just like the name of the game, is a pretty big deal of having one of those.
Awesome. We want to have time to let you kind of stick around and have some questions, but we got to move up on the schedule. So I believe, Robert, you're still going to be around here. So I think if anyone has any further questions, he can reach out to you here, and then Pete and I are going to move on to the next.
Excellent. Yeah, I just merged some lands in the demo, and I'm going to go get myself maybe my first pack. And let's go. Let's go get a castle. Thank you, Robert.
Nice.
Really appreciate you going through this and educating us more. I'm new to a lot of these games, but I'm ready to play, ready to get in and spend more time with Play to Earn. Here at DYGYCON 10, this is what we're here to celebrate. Waffles, where are we going next?
Let's go to MSQ.
All right, we'll see you at the next one. We're going to share some footage from the previous DYGYCON events. For those of you who haven't attended, and maybe you're watching over the live stream and you still would like to attend, there is a chance for you to do so. You just get in. What is the DYGYCON website, Waffles?
Just DYGYCON.com, or find us on Twitter. We're the most active on Twitter, and we just created a Discord, so just find the Discord link on the Twitter. The Discord is very new, and it's growing very quickly, because everyone who's in there, all of the game developers are in there, past speakers, all the participants really who want to be a part of this event are in there as well. So it's a really great way for you to just communicate with others about the DYGYCON experience specifically, because each event that does happen on this platform, on Inverse, is its own unique event and happens in a very different way. So we look forward to that. All right, we'll see you at the next talk, and thank you again, Robert. We'll see you again, hopefully soon, at DYGYCON 11.
Thank you, guys. This was fun. Have fun out there.
Silver just put it in there. It's the GJ Blunt 420.
I have to write this?
Yeah, go put that. Go put that as an unlock on your avatar customizers.
Accessories, yeah. If you go to avatars or customizers and then click unlock item and put that code in, and get the plus.
Oh, Drake is here. What's up, bro?
Drake? Where's Drake?
Right here, doing.
There he is. What's up, buddy?
It's the heartbeat. It's just creepy sounds all over now. Shit! In 5 years, the cities of Immersives will all be destroyed by a tidal wave. Everyone will die. All the NFTs will be burned. And no one will survive.
So good.
Because they will all be turned into fish.
Here he is.
I would rather be at the NFT giveaway, apparently. That's where they needed me. Wow. Ray, well, I'm super glad to be here. And DYGYCON 10 has been super exciting already in day 2. There is still one more day for anyone who wants to get in here. Waffles, we are in our next AMA. Please give a grand introduction.
Awesome. Okay, so Marcus here has been a longtime sponsor and supporter of DYGYCON and Splinterlands in general. So we're excited to see them back. They've took a little break because they've got a lot of great stuff happening, and they just relaunched. And you know what? I'll let Ray take over, so I don't want to steal his fire.
Thank you, Sarah, and hi everybody. Hope you're having a great time today at DYGYCON 10. I wanted to give a quick thank you to Sarah for putting this all together and the Inverse team on the great venue. Obviously, there's not a cloud in the sky. Looks beautiful, great weather out here. Anyways, thank you for coming out to the talk today. I'm Ray from MSQ, and today we're going to talk about how to grow your brand in NFTs and the Metaverse. Let's have a show of hands or emotes. How many of you out there are building your own project or your own YouTube channel or a Twitch stream, or you have a Twitter, or you're posting pictures of your pet on Instagram, like any of those things, right? Wow, nice, good. Big group of you, which is great. So all of you right now, you're building your own brand, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's hard to get noticed nowadays, obviously. Lots of people are building, lots of people are creating and sharing content. So the question is really, how do you stand out? And what we're going to be getting into, and also talking about why MSQ started and how it could help, is basically all revolving around branding. So firstly, and in case you don't know, I'm sharing my slides there. You should be able to see them, and if you want to follow along. So first, who am I? I grew up in Miami. I went to law school there around 2011. And during that time, I really started to get into YouTube and live streaming. And I always made crappy home movies at home with my friends growing up. But around this time, it was something that just clicked for me. And I saw that YouTube and all these platforms that were springing up was a viable way for people to actually make a career out of it, right? And as I got more involved with different creators on YouTube and working with YouTube directly, I got to see how people were starting to build out their own brands and leveraging their opportunities. For those YouTube partners that I worked closely with, I started helping them negotiate brand deals with companies such as Amazon, Disney, Sephora, just to name a few. And all that's suffice to say that as these creators started getting more popular, their personal brands started growing too. The same trends that I'm seeing from the early days of YouTube and Justin TV, later becoming Twitch, is that these are the same trends I'm seeing now in different NFTs and Metaverse projects. For many of you out here today, you're just starting out and you're getting your footing. And then there's others around here that are already gaining traction that we saw, like Mouse Hunt. And we have large companies out here that have been in the space for a while that have large user bases like Splinterlands. The one thing that everyone can benefit from, though, is growing your brand. But the first question a lot of people always ask is, well, what really is a brand, right? So a brand is one of those things that you always hear everybody describing it to you. It's very easy to describe, but difficult to understand. It's not a logo. It's not a brand name. It's more of a perception. It's how your product, your business, your project, It's how it's perceived by the people that experience it. And how does it make them feel? What feelings does it evoke from them, right? If you look at the Nintendo logo, you just probably get this nostalgic feeling of all the games you played when you were younger. If you close your eyes and you say to yourself, how does Nintendo sound like? You might say something like, oh, it's a me, Mario, you know, and those things, as corny as it sounds, those are the feelings that these brands evoke from people. And, you know, this is really what ties people together to your community. So a lot of people say, okay, this is great. I know what my brand is. I know what I want to do. I have my idea. But the hard part is really growing the brand, right? So I always give people a couple of quick tips from the beginning. So the first one is always know your audience, who they are, and develop your voice. So basically, it's how does your brand sound to other people when you post on socials? What's the tone? Are you talking the way you would talk to a friend? Are you a storyteller? Look at GoblinTown.nft, for example, how they created their own style from the font that they use to communicate with people to the Twitter spaces that they host where people role play as goblins and just shout nonsense for like an hour. This is it's weird, right? But it's also a brand and it also has a strong community. And just like real life, it's okay not to find your voice right away. Every YouTuber I've worked for and with, from 0 subscribers all the way to 10 million, have always told me the same thing when they start out. It's that they're worried about how they sound or how they should communicate. It's a lot of overthinking, right? So the main thing that I can say about that is that being genuine is the only thing that really matters. Whether you're creating content or building a metaverse platform, your audience can feel when you're being genuine about something. It's, are you excited? Does it show in the content? Does it show in the way that you're communicating? I think those are the easy things that you can start doing now that people will pick up on. And the second point is creating content and being consistent. That's the hardest part. You can create something, but to be consistent and do it when you're not getting a lot of views, when it's discouraging, that's usually when people start to get discouraged and then don't continue and follow through. I would say that you should always think about how you're going to over deliver for the people watching, whether it's one person watching or 1,000, right? Or 1 million. When you create your content, there's no lack of mediums that you can pick from. You can post insightful tweets, you can post short clips, you can create longer videos, you can do interviews, you can write articles. There's always ways for you to contribute to the space, right? So always keep in mind what value you're providing by posting something. Also, just like I tell streamers who are starting out, if you're debating between a really good microphone or a really good webcam camera prior to starting, go for the mic. People can forgive a blurry camera, but if your audio sounds like a potato, you'll see higher bounce rates, especially for our space, which is constantly using tools like Twitter Spaces, hosting town halls on Discord. Your audio equipment is like your saving grace at the beginning. And then the last thing I'll tell people is to tell your story and collaborate. There's thousands upon thousands of projects out there, and there's millions of creators. So what sets you apart from them specifically? Don't be afraid to talk about the motivations behind your project or behind your channel and what you're doing, and look for people that share the same vision and goals as you. Collaboration is super powerful. All that being said, I really know that it's not an easy thing to do. It's not easy putting yourself out there. It's not easy creating the content. So part of the main problems that lends itself to is not just the saturation that we see in the space with tons of projects and tons of games and tons of NFT projects. It's due to the state of Web3 also. And there's things that I see here which aren't as rampant as they were in Web 2. So hopefully I won't be too much of a Debbie Downer here, but I think it's important to understand also the problems that are around Web 3 so that we know how to overcome them together, right? So what are some of the things that's going on? Influencer marketing, for one. I swear if I see another BitBoy tweet or video, I'm going to throw my computer away. And the sad part about it is that it's all pay to play. One of the problems that Market Square encountered early on was when we were starting to do our NFT project. There was a lot of influencers, and I say it with quotation marks, that would come up to us and say, hey, we'll do a tweet for you about your project to our 40,000 followers, and it'll be around 2 Ethereum. And I'm not talking about today's Ethereum, bear market Ethereum. I'm talking about $4,000 a piece Ethereum. And they would also say, oh, if you can agree to pay maybe 15,000, we can send thousands of people to your Discord server and make it look active. right? So you can kind of get people to get excited about your project and say, hey, yeah, go ahead and spend time on this project because it's going to moon, right? And then if you want an article on our website, we'll charge you around 30,000, which we know is expensive, but don't worry, because we're going to put you in a section of the website for sponsored content only, and it's very hidden, and it only gets about 300 clicks a day. So yeah, money well spent. So it's a big problem, and it's one of the things that our space is going to go through, right? Because it's a very small space right now at the beginning. Last year, Chainalysis, which does a lot of analytics on the blockchain, they said that there's about 360,000 NFT owners. This was last year. So think about that, right? That's not a lot of people. And out of that group, 9% of them are responsible for 80% of the market value. I think that I saw last week or so, updated article came out, and it said that currently there's about 1 million people who are using NFTs right now, that are collecting them and that are trading them, right? And it's a huge thing when you think about it, because if you compare that to other sectors like gaming, and if you compare that to streaming and content creation, that's very, very small, right? So anyways, this is the problems that we're going to have to get over so that we can succeed in this space. And the last thing that we saw was a pursuit of profits with and a lack of vision. How many projects have you seen drop land or continually doing NFT drop after NFT drop without having a finished product or even something that's playable at this point, right? We've seen this stuff happen in Web 2 a lot also, so I'm not saying that Web 3 is unique. How many Kickstarter, GoFundMe projects have you seen where the products really never come out, right? And they never come into fruition. Crowdsource funding, the reality is that it's still a really popular way to get startup capital for people and for their ideas. But you can't sit there and tell me that a company with over $100 million in revenue needs your $200 yet again for an NFT for a game that might never see the light of day, right? So there's great games currently being built in our space, but it's a handful of them. And we pretty much, we know which ones they are. We've seen the games that are playable, the games that we enjoy playing nowadays, like Splinterlands, games from Go Gala, right? There's tons of games out there that you can play and you can have a good time with. But I do think that there has to be a better way for projects to be able to get exposure, and a good way for people to be able to get exposure to the right projects and having a space for unbiased content, right? And that's where MSQ comes in. So we started it because all the problems we outlined previously, we're tired of the pay-to-play nature of our industry. And there's a lot of innovation happening, but everything people in mainstream culture see from this sector are rug pulls, people bragging about their gains, people charging $3K for a piece of land for a game that's not built yet. I mean, of course they hate us. It's rampant speculation, right? We want to help the industry get away from that. We want to highlight innovation. We want to have discussions that center around big issues. And we want to build a better place for people who love NFTs, gaming, and the metaverse. So basically, our website, which you can check it out at msq.io, just launched on Thursday. It has featured news stories. It shows off our latest video content. And we have a dedicated section for news around NFTs, gaming, the metaverse. So you know, we wanted to show this off, and we were crunching really hard to finish this by DYGYCON so that the DYGYCON community would be the first people to see it, right? So, you know, in terms of where we are on social media and where we are around, you know, different sectors and what we're working on, you can, you know, we're everywhere, but not in a creepy sort of way. We have a Discord community, a Twitter, a YouTube, TikTok, and you can find the links all right here in our booth. We also have a giveaway link. So if you're a, you know, regular user and you're just wanting to find a place where you can learn about things, you can subscribe and you can enter for an NFT giveaway. And if you're a project, you can go ahead and leave your information there as well. And we're going to be giving out a free sponsored content package where we create an article and a video about your project for free 99, totally free, no commitment necessary. So yeah, that's basically where we are. Feel free to highlight those links there. And then going on to the next slide here, why should you tell your own story with us, right? So if you have your own project and you want to tell your story to a larger audience, let me tell you why we're the right fit. We have our own video production team and writers in-house. We have a video right behind the booth, shows you just a little promo of our site, right? And then in addition to that, we really do take the time to research your project and learn everything about it. not just because we are good storytellers, because we do pride ourselves at that, but our research is a completely different thing that we really pride ourselves on. And being able to communicate your brand story to others is something that we really find that we do in a special way. When we finish the content, we collaborate and we make a plan to share across our socials, so that way it also gets the most organic reach possible. And then for those of you that have projects and are interested in advertising, basically here are some of the big questions out of the way for you. One, we're cost effective. We aren't like other news sites that require a down payment of your firstborn child and crazy fees. We have different rates depending on what type of content you want and create, whether it's articles, videos, or short clips. We aren't a hype machine. For us, integrity is the most valuable part of MSQ's brand. So we wouldn't hype up projects and expose our community to bad actors. We research everything firsthand, and we never accept pre-written content. When you come to MSQ, it's important that all our readers and viewers know that we treat each piece of content with the same attention and detail and the same well thought out research and our honest opinion. So if this sounds like a breath of fresh air to you, you can obviously reach out to us, marketing@msq.io. And then lastly, we're growing MSQ right now. This is like I said, the site just launched, right? We can't wait to grow this platform alongside you. The slide says stop by our booth, but luckily some of you are already here. We have a Google form here under MSQ giveaways, which you can access with the links to the booth. And this is where I said you can go ahead and you can register and you can enter for an NFT, and you can also enter for, if you're a project, for some advertising packages. Also, if you're a writer and you really love this space, you love talking about games, NFTs, the metaverse, feel free to send us your writing samples and a short intro about yourself to hire me at msq.io, because we're always looking for more writers. And really, I think that for this platform to succeed, we need a lot of people that are in this space, from this space, that really care about it. So definitely looking for more talent to come on. And then also, I hope everyone's having a great time today and at DYGYCON. I'll end my time here. If you want to open the floor to questions, I got time for questions and stuff.
I want to be courteous of everyone else. Yeah. I have so many questions, Ray. This is very timely. It's anyhow, we should talk after this. Waffles, please feel free to ask your questions.
So you guys just launched today, so I just wanted to compare what MSQ looked like before and how it looks now. Mm-hmm. You want to share your screen, but before it kind of reminded me of a project management platform. Just the look itself, and then now you guys are kind of rebranded and things have kind of moved around.
Yes, for sure. Before, what it looked like, you're totally right. It was like a directory of different projects, right? Right now, and I'm sharing my screen, right now it's a news site, a true news site with content. You can see that we put a lot of thought into how we outline everything. And we also have our videos here. So if you wanted to watch a video on some of the content, it goes straight to our YouTube channel, opens up the modal, and you can watch straight from there. And then we also have latest news that we're putting out. And we have different categories, of course. Since it just started, really, we've posted maybe 3 articles only so far. But our goal right now at the beginning is 2 articles per day, 1 video per day. And then from there, it's going to keep growing as we keep bringing on more people. So you'll probably, a lot of you are familiar probably with IGN and GameSpot and other news sites similar to that are always posting content. That's the goal with MSQ.
That's excellent. That's a massive undertaking. So I definitely wish you lots of luck with this. In fact, I personally could have some need for this in my life with the work that we're doing at Inverse, which is why I really think we should talk after this. But with a lot of the news that really centered around kind of Web3 and play to earn, blockchain, metaverse, etc. A lot of it is self-told storytelling, and they they'll go to traditional to and those that are more primarily in Web 2 and find that that's not always the best, I guess, way to share the story and share a message. Obviously, Inverse, we're just going through a rebrand, so this is exactly the time in which we're thinking about these things and taking action. So, from your perspective, when Web3 is looking at some of the like the I guess the legacy ways that we would share the message and get the word out about a new game that they're developing. What are some of the challenges with trying to do more of a hybrid approach? You want some to go into like your standard publications, but you want it to hit the right audience. I'm probably going to answer the question in my long rant here, but from your view, what are some challenges that you see there?
I definitely see a lot of challenges, especially with people who come directly from Web 2 into Web 3. And they're like, okay, this is how I advertised everything or how I marketed my products in the past. It's got to work the same here, right? And more often than not, that's not really the case. For Web3, we're actually a very fragmented community. A lot of what takes place happens in Twitter Spaces, in Discords, right? So it's very hard to get messages across in that sense. But what we have found with MSQ in the past was that what really works well is collaborating with each project and being able to share that message together. So we do a lot of collaboration. We do a lot of our own type of marketing for our channels. So we're able to push content together. And we know what are the best places to reach people that are interested in this type of content. So it's about being from the space and just knowing where to go, right? Everybody here is pretty much familiar with Web3, with blockchain and with the games and with the metaverse. So everybody here knows that, we're not going to do a bunch of Instagram stories to promote a new game, right? We're also going to be hesitant to do that because of the way that the current mainstream views, NFT gaming and metaverse at the same token of that, right? So, that being said, I think it's more about crossing that barrier into Web 2, but also understanding that maybe they're not ready for us just yet. And when we do advertise content there, the way that we word things, the way that we communicate is very important.
Can't be too jargon heavy, that's for sure.
Nope. Exactly. So it's just a combination of factors for sure. But we've seen success with how we share the content across our platforms and just knowing which audience to target instead of just being so general that it becomes a bunch of people just posting under your NFT saying, oh, this is mine now. I right-click saved it.
Yeah, a lot of misconceptions out there. And I feel like we could talk forever about, some of the myths, right? That people, false perceptions of NFTs and play to earn. Because when people hear NFTs, they initially think about the PFP market that's out there and the way the I guess those market behaviors. I'll call them behaviors because it's not the rule, right? The idea is digital ownership is going to go well beyond just a static profile picture, right? The utility that's there, it's super creative. We're just scratching the surface on how many layers that it will have and how many problems will be solved through these technologies. I'm a big advocate for it. You clearly are too, and everyone attending DYGYCON also feel that way. So I just want to, share my, warm, I guess, give you all the luck and energy that you need to make this, MSQ kickoff. Is it anybody, Sarah? Did you have any other questions? I know we're getting close. We've got about 5 minutes before we need to go. I'm going to pay attention to chat, but Sarah, I'll pass it over to you for your questions.
Thank you.
Sure. You know what? Like one of the things that's important when you're onboarding people onto a new platform, like even like a social media platform or like, like Medium or something like that, the important thing is the UI and like the UX so that people can easily get onboarded. They can port things over just as easy. And like, how has your team kind of worked through enabling the onboarding to be as seamless as possible?
Well, the nice thing about it is that we're taking a really slow approach to it. If you remember the old Market Square, you had to sign in and you had to create your account. This just works more like a regular Web2 news site where you're able to go in and look at things and just be able to read the news and look at the videos and understand what's going on without having to do all this crazy onboarding, right? Later on, we're hoping to do some more stuff where we integrate more systems into the website, but we want to do it slowly and at a pace that's not jarring for anybody. Obviously, we spoke a lot with different partners before we made the switch to MSQ, to the way it is now. And one of the interesting things about it is that obviously a lot of partners were like, well, we don't want to maintain another social platform or profile because we already have Twitter, Discord, Telegram, Facebook, blah, 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 right? They have all these different things. And they're like, please don't give me one more thing to manage. I'm going to die. And a lot of them were saying, I really like the content though. And that's what our analytics was saying too. So we were like, okay, let's just go back and let's focus on the content, which is what people really want anyways. They want to read, they want to watch videos, they want to understand. So that's kind of where we fell back, and we're going to add in more systems in the future, but we're still going to take it at a slow pace, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, so I understand you want to take it slow, so it's not like we're gonna jump over to TikTok or anything like that, right?
Right. It's not going to be a huge swath of like features, and you're going to be confused and like, you know, see too many flashing lights. It's just going to be a really strong news site at the beginning, and then as we grow our audience and we see what people want, we're going to take their feedback into consideration and add in those extra things that will make it a Web3 first platform.
Yeah, I think you just go where your community is, like where you already have them, and nurture that. There's a lot. I understand wanting to spread ourselves across the interwebs and be everywhere at all times, every day, every hour. But realistically, right, the ability to scale that up, something that's manageable, could be very challenging, and often we don't have the teams or the technology to be able to manage that effectively. I really like to look at things from the perspective of, if you are sending a strong message and you are at least asking, how was that message perceived? Is there ways that we can do it better? Having a kind of, you know, we're software developers, so like, what does the end user want ultimately? Same thing when we're pushing content. It's like, what do they want to see more about what it is that we're doing? And I, for the most part, when you're developing something that is gamified and there's some ownership and aspect to it, and you really want to head towards Web3, it really is about how well you can create something that somebody can then tell their story through that experience. That may not apply everywhere, but I really feel like if the product can have the capability of being able to push someone else's activities further, I think that's a good place to be in, because it's being driven by, right, I guess the end user as much as possible. I love this topic. Very passionate about it, as you are too, Ray. I really respect and admire the work that you're doing with MSQ. We are running into our last 2 minutes. I want to just pay attention to some of the questions that might be coming in. It looks like just positive reactions and love that we're seeing over chat. I did play the video for the live stream that you had here in your booth. For anyone that's here at DYGYCON that wants to come by, you can bookmark these booths. So there's an interesting feature that's in here, in addition to the new user interface, which a lot of you have been getting accustomed to. So we hope that has been a pleasure for everyone to experience something where we just wanted to widen the view and the screen of the environment as much as possible, minimize the interface, and kind of layer some of these tools and buttons behind you know, a doorway, right? You click a button, it's going to open up your menus, and you can just keep going deeper and deeper, because we want it to be simplified. But for this particular experience, MSQ, they have all their links here in the booth. Come click them, and you can follow along. Please connect with Ray. You can click on a user's camera and actually look at their LinkedIn, Twitter, website. You could even find their public wallet address or their public key for their MetaMask if you want to gift them something. That is also possible as well. We use that for, well, not we, but Waffles and other event hosts use that feature for ways to provide airdrops. So we very much are excited about Web3. MSQ seems like a really good place for you to get the news out and support a platform that understands Web3 and wants to help nurture that vision. And that's super important to us. So I hope that was helpful. Ray, thank you again. Any final thoughts or inspiration that you would want to give to anyone else that maybe creatively wants to get into writing, or maybe, you know, doing something similar to you where they want to just share the news?
Yeah, I would say that don't underestimate your voice, and, you know, don't think that nobody wants to hear what you have to say, right? I think that right now, especially today, we live in an age where content is powerful, and even the YouTubers that I work with that have 12, 13 million subscribers, they worry a great deal about what they say and how they're going to say it, because at the end of the day, all of these people are influencers, right? But what type of behavior are you influencing, right? So really give care to what you say, put a lot of thought behind it. But if you feel it's your genuine self and you really have something that you really want to try writing or expressing or doing videos about, it's just like a muscle. You just have to exercise it. The more you write, the more you get in front of the camera, the better you're going to get at it. So I would say don't let anything stop you from trying, and just work at it. Be consistent.
Excellent. All right, we have gone over on time. Yeah, Waffles. Where are we going next?
All right, we're going to pop back over to the welcome room, and we'll navigate into the Splinterlands booth.
Excellent. All right, Ray, take care of yourself and enjoy DYGYCON. There's still one more day, so please, I hope everyone makes the best of it. Thanks again, Ray.
All right, thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers. All right, now this is how we get around in DYGYCON. There is a teleport feature for you to click through and explore. I'm going to get out of here in a second, guys, so you guys can chat amongst one another. I'll be out. I'm out in 3, 2, 1. See you later.
Bye.
Alva? Are you having dreams again? What are they? It's okay, Alva.
It's him. Again. He keeps coming back. He tells me what to do. I can't tell him no. He was great alive, but he was even better dead. You know what they say. There's nothing better than a still.
Now you have fun, my friend. Oh, look at this. Unstable Squirrel has joined the fun. Somebody made a mess. The only thing that's missing is a snail trail. Gotta make.
I do want to take a moment to recognize the signing off of GamerJibe. GamerJibe was a good platform where we held many events and fun times that we had with lots of people across the Web3 world. Play-to-earn games, trade shows, conventions, job fairs. We played, we laughed, we cried. We got in our buffacorns during ETH Denver. We tried on luxury clothing with MCM. GamerJibe was a place where many of us came together to love, to laugh, and especially to high-five. Goodbye, GamerJibe. You'll still be around, I'm sure, whenever we need to call to you and recall the fond memories of the early days of trying to hold the convention in the Metaverse. But the future looks bright. Inverse now takes the stage. And we are excited to take online communities to the next level. Carry on, my friends. Godspeed. And we're so glad to have you in DYGYCON 10.
Alright, so Pete should be here.
Hello, I'm back.
Hey Pete, you ready?
I am ready. Just had to shed a couple tears and say goodbye to an old friend. I don't know if anybody's watching the live stream, but it was quite emotional.
Alright, well, let's get on right with it. So we're bringing our very own awesome community manager, Bulldog, 1205, and other members of the Splinterlands team to just talk about some recent happenings in the game. So it's a pretty informal forum, and you know, we'll just kind of get to talking about some of these things. So Bulldog, if there's anything you want to highlight that's been happening recently in the community.
Real quick before you begin, Bulldog, this is really important. Can you get your avatars on the desk? Just jump them up onto the desk if you can. If you can't jump, that's fine. You can just walk them behind the desk if you want. But that way we can separate the avatars, and everybody, if they want to high-five you or thumbs down you because they think what you said was absolute terrible, then we want to let them be able to do that. So get your avatars over there so we can get everyone on the Splinterlands team. Go ahead, get up there. Get up there. Who else? Oh, Khan over here too. Yep. Yeah. Just inch it up there. Go ahead. I'm going to start good game slapping people on the rear. Nah. Oh, they're intentionally not going because they want me to slap them on the rear. That's what I think is happening. All right. Thank you so much. Now that we got your avatars up there on the desk, it's very appropriate. In fact, that's what I would expect if we were IRL at an event and there was a table. You're right. Just put the whole team up there. Send some love to these guys. Everybody give some claps to our friends from Splinterlands. Bulldog, all right, floor is yours, my friend. Waffles, thank you so much for all your hard work, too. If you guys give her some love. This poor woman, she's been not sleeping because she wants your event to be the best experience ever. Don't forget her, our DYGYCON mom, Waffles Kitty.
Thanks, Pete.
All right, I appreciate you inviting me here to speak at this best event ever. So I'm honored, and again, this is going to be pretty informal, so it can kind of be somewhat of an AMA. If any of you have questions, feel free to ask them in chat. I'll try to follow along and get to whatever. But I guess I'm just going to talk about some of the things that have come just a few days ago in Splinterlands, and maybe some of the things coming next week if we get to it, depending on how much time we have. But we're super excited that we just added a modern format to Splinterlands just 2 days ago. So what that means is, I mean, Splinterlands has been around for a little while now. There is a lot of cards out there, and it has been tough for new players to get in the game and compete with some of these players who have some of these older or rare cards that maybe don't have many copies and are very, very expensive now. So now you can actually jump in and play in your ranked format in a modern format, which just includes the last 2 sets. So that is the Chaos set and the Untamed set, as well as the reward cards that go with it, the mini sets that go with it. But by just playing with those 2 sets, it's going to be much more friendly for new players, and it's easier for new players to get into the game. Chaos packs are still in stock, so because they haven't sold out, the secondary market hasn't really inflated their value, and they're still relatively affordable. So you can jump in and buy those and compete with modern, and it's going to be great for even just the future of this game, because that's how everything's going to rotate out going forward. So right now we've got Chaos and Untamed, but next year when Rebellion comes out, that will kick Untamed out of modern, and then you will have your Rebellion and Chaos sets that are in modern. So it'll continually rotate so that new players jumping into the game can just buy into the latest sets, and it should make things a lot easier for new players. And this is something that you've actually seen in a lot of other card games or other places as well, where they rotate through. And one of the things that we think is going to be very unique with Splinterlands, because it's a blockchain card game, is that in one of those other games, as those cards rotate out, they kind of become worthless. Like you've got your original kind of rare collectible cards at the first editions or whatever that have value, and then the ones that are currently in rotation that have value, and everything else kind of ends up losing value and gets forgotten about. But there's so many things you can do with the blockchain game. So like for example, you can still go compete with those in wild format, and you will get bonus earnings for using alpha cards, for using beta cards, promo, some of those older cards or whatever the case is. And then eventually next year we're going to come out with a land, and the land is going to come out with the land. The land's going to need workers, and those cards are going to be workers. So there will be bonus for using some of these older cards on land. So it's a way to give these older cards utility as well, so that you're not buying something and it only has value for the 2 years or whatever the time frame is that it's in modern, and then it rotates out and become worthless. We can still find ways to give value to those older cards to kind of honor that investment and make it a good investment. So we are definitely excited about that. That's one of the new things. And I'm trying to follow through chat. Sometimes it moves a little too quick, so feel free to repeat your questions if anything comes through. Any of you who have followed me on stream know I can follow chat a little bit, but sometimes I get carried away. I get a little carried away and forget to look at chat. I'm trying to look here and on Twitch. So anyways, that came just last week, and then we've had a lot of updates for our reward system, and there's been some, like just a few weeks ago, changed it so that starter cards can actually don't get you earnings anymore. Starter cards are the free cards that anybody could play with, because people could jump in and play with so many of those free cards. We had a lot of accounts or even bots that would just sign up and bot with the free cards. And even though there was very little earnings, when you had a bunch of bots rotating through those free cards, even at a little earnings, they could extract a little value. So that ended up being a problem. So they took away the earnings for those starter cards to kind of help stabilize the economy. There are some more changes that are coming in the next few days, coming sometime next week. So it's going to be fun. We're going to do things like add merits to the loot chest. Guilds are what merits are. Merits are a way to, they're basically the currency that you can buy Gladius cases with. And Gladius cases contain unique cards that can only be used in brawls. If any of you out there are playing Splinterlands and have not joined a guild, have not been able to participate in brawls, I highly recommend it. So all of these Gladius cards have Bloodlust on them. And we've seen Bloodlust in a few cards that are out even in ranked play. Things like Grum, for example, things like Jared's Scar. I don't know if any of you have gotten to use those, but those cards are so much fun. What Bloodlust does is whenever you get a kill with that card, it boosts all of your stats. So, and sometimes that can really snowball, and it gets a lot of fun. You defeat one card, and then your stats go up, your attack goes up, your speed goes up, and then you're able to more easily defeat another card, which increases your stats even further. And you just at the end of the battle, you have this huge beast of a card that's just running through everything. And it is a lot of fun. So we do have, I see in chat is talking about Quora. Quora is an amazing card. I don't know if any of you were on my stream the other day. I managed to pull 2 of them in a single on stream, and I was absolutely loving that. I was thrilled on stream. So that was fun. The point is, these Gladiator cards are a lot of fun, and now you can earn merits faster. You can earn them from ranked battles, and as well as from your guild battles still. And that's going to help people prepare for SPS that's going to be rewarded in guild battles coming up. There's going to be a way to actually earn cryptocurrency, earn your SPS in these guild battles. So earning these merits is going to be very, very nice. So yeah, Steam Dan looks like he's a fan of getting merits and getting the extra SPS. So that's definitely going to be be a lot of fun. Birds, hey, I appreciate you being here. Maybe we should start a guild. I think my guild wouldn't like it if I left to start my own. So I've got to respect that. We've put a lot of effort in, but they are so much fun. And And that's going to be nice because it does two things. First off, it gives people more of a currency that they've been wanting. People have been wanting to get more merits and level up these gladiator cards quicker. But then it's also going to penalize a lot of these bots. A lot of people have had problems with the bots farm and don't like those being in the game. Well, the bot farms aren't really going to care about merits. The strategy with these bot farms is basically to run hundreds, sometimes thousands of low level accounts, and even though you don't get very many rewards per account, when they combine them all together, they can make a significant amount of money. Well, these merits are soul bound, so you can't just take all these merits that have earned across 1,000 bot accounts and combine them into one account and level those cards up. Those merits aren't going to be very useful individually spread across a bunch of low level accounts. So that's really going to punish some of those bot farms. So that's going to be pretty nice. Another thing I'm excited about is we are adding new focuses. So right now, whenever you log in for the day, you have a daily focus that is just winning battles with a single splinter. So Earth Splinter, Fire Splinter, whatever the case is. And they're going to be, I forget how many there are now, but something like 14 or 15 new focuses. So it's going to be things like, I know the one they've already revealed is win battles using sneak, snipe, or opportunity. I'm combining them together there. So that's adding some more of those focuses is going to be pretty cool. And the way it's going to work is you're going to now earn points towards your daily chest for every single battle that you win, even if you don't use anything toward your focus. So there's been a lot of people, myself being one of them, that have complained that they don't really like to try and force themselves to use a certain splinter or certain cards or anything. Like when I'm battling on stream, I just want to try to win. I don't want to embarrass myself by lowering my win rate, So I'm trying to just use the best cards I can. So now you'll earn those points even if you're not using your focus. But if you do use a card that fits your focus, you get bonus earnings per card used. So it's not only is it just going to be not all or nothing, but if you use 3 sneak cards, you get a bigger bonus than if you just use 1 sneak card. So I'm very excited to see all these new focuses and see how things play out. You're no longer going to be able to just go rent a single splinter. Like some people would, if they had an Earth splinter, they'd just go rent like a bunch of Earth cards and they'd spam Earth every single battle. And you're not necessarily going to be able to do that anymore because you're not even guaranteed to get Earth every battle. So you have to have a much more balanced deck, and I think that's going to balance the economy a little bit. And they're also changing. I know this is the one that's the most controversial that people don't like, but it's going to be good for the economy. Is rent times are now going to be a minimum of 2 days. So you don't get people just renting for a single day, draining their ECR using a day's worth of cards, and then spending 3 days to not playing to let it recover and just playing once every 4 days. Now you have to rent for 2 days, and it gives you more incentives to spread those battles out over the course of the day. So those are some of the changes, and I've actually heard some rumors there might be some more changes that are not even announced that might be coming. So to give you guys a little bit of a tease, I'll drop that, and maybe some of that info will be out maybe on the town hall on Monday for Splinterlands. I don't know exactly when that all is coming out. But if they can get it in there might even be some more updates. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. There's a lot coming there. So
yeah, hey Bulldog, quick question for anybody that's new that wants to see any patch notes or changes to the game. Where's the best place to find that?
There is a Splinterlands website that shows the patch notes. I don't have it on me, but I should because I reference it all day long.
Talk, does Splinter Talk have it? Splinter Talk IO?
You will see them there, but let me...
Peak.com, Splinterlands posts.
I know that.
Oh, everyone's posting them in chat right now.
Okay. I switched over. There we go. There's the docs.splinterlands.com. There it is.
Thank
you, everybody, for having my back there and picking up the...
No, that's excellent.
Yeah,
that's great.
That'll be... A lot of times the full release notes are not posted until after the maintenance window. Maintenance days are Tuesday and Thursday. So after there's any sort of maintenance, they'll post it after. So we know some of the big things that are coming, but
is there a club is there a club that for anyone that collects their 1 millionth DEC? Is there a club? I'm about to hit that. So I want my invite. Let's go.
1 million DEC. That's going to be nice. And I mean, as a team member, I'm not going to give any financial advice, but part of these changes that are then coming fairly soon are actually going to act to kind of try to stabilize that DEC price back toward its kind of par value or peg value or whatever people want to refer to it. Yeah. Because shortly after the airdrop, we've got what, like 14 days left in the airdrop or something. That might be off by give or take a day or so, but when shortly after that, SPS is actually going to replace DEC in battles. So instead of earning DEC from your battles, instead of earning DEC from your chest, you're going to earn SPS instead. So SPS is the governance token that's actually got more value. That's per the white paper. There's going to be 7.5 million SPS per month that's distributed in battle rewards. And that's currently much higher than the amount of DEC that's distributed now. So DEC will not be distributed. And
let me correct you, Bulldog.
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, but SPS would be found in those chests. So chest DEC will be replaced with SPS, but you can like still earn DEC while playing battles if you win though.
Excellent.
You can. Okay, we'll have to talk about that later because that's not what Matt said on the town hall.
Oh yeah, let's go, Matt. Hold on, I got Matt on speed dial. Hold on, I'm calling him up right now. We'll get him up and then I'll put the phone up. I'm kidding.
I did say he would be here, but yeah, he may be roaming around.
We'll have to check. Is Homestead still here?
Go.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, yeah, I'm pretty sure though, because so there are like two types of reward pools currently for DEC. One is for battles, that is like 1 million per day, like for wild and modern. And then the other reward pool is from the chess. So as many as chess you earn, you have like the multipliers based on leagues, and that like inflates DEC. So now what's happening is that when there are like new players coming into the space, they earn more chess. So there's like new DEC coming into this ecosystem. So that's why like there is no hard cap on DEC. So what they are doing is that they're trying to replace DEC in chess with the SPS. So because SPS has like fixed supply, so if there are new players coming into the ecosystem earning more chess, it would not inflate the SPS amount because it would be like a fixed reward pool. But for the battles, because there is already fixed reward pool for DEC, that is 1 million per day. So that would like keep the DEC supply at the fixed rate. So you would be earning like DEC when you play battles, but you would get SPS through the chess. So that's why how they are like combining it both, and then try to have like a stable reward pool, and that would really help to get DEC stabilized towards $1 peg.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to verify this all later. I was trying to pull it up. Yeah, like the
I guess we may not have to wait. Like the update may be coming like maybe within the few weeks, maybe 2 to 4 weeks. So it's not that far though.
So anyways, regardless, the amount of DEC produced is going to drastically decrease. I thought it was basically not going to be minted at all, except for burn mechanics. Mm-hmm. And then there's going to be a very interesting mechanic where you can actually, if people, because we talked about the incentives for these guilds, right? So hopefully a lot of people are going to want to increase their guild buildings so that they can earn merits faster. They can play in higher tier brawls and get more SPS for that. The way you do that is by burning DEC to improve your guild buildings. So hopefully we have a lot of DEC actually being removed from the market with that. And if so much of it is removed that the DEC actually goes back above its peg, you can then burn, and not right now, but you will be able to burn SPS in order to actually mint more DEC. So if the value of DEC goes up, that'll actually make SPS more valuable by burning SPS as a result in order to get more DEC.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool things coming that are going to help really stabilize the economy with a long-term outlook for everything.
I really appreciate the utility surrounding the burning of tokens, rather than just saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna burn these just for goodwill and pats on the back." No, you can level up your guild, level up some of the buildings that you have for your guild. I do have an inverse guild. Just gonna put that out there if anybody wants to join. Yeah, I've got a couple of folks in here that are in with the guild, and we did get a level 2 barracks now, so I think we can have 16 members within the guild. And this is going back a while. I think my first game of Splinterlands was like over 2 years ago now, I think. And I spent just a little bit amount of money. And again, it's not financial advice, but that little amount that I spent is now worth, probably 300x what I put in. So it's pretty amazing what Splinterlands has done. And I don't foresee it stopping anytime soon.
Sorry, I've been trying like forever to get HTT in here, and he's finally here. So I'm the creative coordinator here.
Jump on the desk, HTT. Get it there. Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Yes, the VIP role.
Welcome. Everybody's got these much cooler avatars than I do, and I just got the generic one here, as I haven't played around with anything yet.
Oh, that's that'd be a good opportunity. Waffles, you want to share the avatar codes for Dr. Blight and for Alric? Because I don't think we've given that out today. We've just been going back to back with AMAs.
Oh yes. So let me get the codes for you. So for Dr. Blight, and to do this, you click on the gear icon on the left, and then you click on Customize Avatar. I'll put the code in the chat right now. So that is to unlock Dr. Blight. And this is also, yes, the staff code, right? Imposter knows already. So I already put in the code for that. And then and then for Ulrich, their code is actually in the description of this booth. But I'll get the code for you guys right now. 1 second.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Oh, I'm so sorry I'm late, you guys.
No, don't apologize.
Hey,
the metaverse never sleeps. HTT, you're right here when you need to be here.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's HTT. I'm the lead creative coordinator for Splinterlands, so I'm here to represent the creative department today and talk about a little bit what we're working on, updates that are upcoming, updates that might have already come out.
And we briefly
I don't want to interrupt
about,
the conversation,
and then
please.
stuff like that.
Everybody's listened to me for long enough. Feel free to take the floor.
Yeah, I mean, what would you guys want to hear about? What would you like me to talk about?
Something creative, perhaps.
And then, actually, before you start though, before HTT starts, because we had like some, I was trying to get him on board into the space, but we got to get to our next talk on the schedule for the live stream. But I want HTT to have like a minute to kind of say what he needs to say, and then we'll move on, but he'll still be around.
I guess just to give you guys a brief overview of where we are in creative, we have really grown from a relatively small team into a slightly larger, relatively small team that is just growing in skill and scope exponentially. I'm really, really excited for you guys to see Rift Watchers and what we bring to the table in terms of art and design. It's such a huge step up from Chaos Legion and even the ranked reward cards that have come out recently. So if I was to give you one thing that I'm like really excited to get everybody to get their eyes on, it's going to be Rift Watchers.
I'm super excited for Rift Watchers to be here. That's going to be a lot of fun.
That's what Matt
final question.
always talks about every single time.
Final question. Will any of you be dressing up in cosplay for Splinterfest in Vegas? Come on.
I'm most likely not going to have time to procure an outfit. But...
I heard you were going to do Byzantine Kitty. I made that up.
No, I think Biz is going to do Byzantine Kitty.
Oh, yes. All right.
How many did we buy of those plushies? Oh my gosh.
They didn't. Oh man, I hope they haven't
He's
sold
gonna come
out.
to a Splinterfest with a bunch of Byzantine kitty plushies duct taped around himself.
Yeah, he's just gonna take a nap.
I would love to see
it's
that.
gonna be so comfy. All right, we better get to the next AMA.
Hey.
Yeah, it's super fun to connect with you guys. Waffles, where are we going next?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, team, for just hearing me out last minute. I was like, hey, you want to come in? And you guys were like, sure. But yeah, I was so happy that you guys responded, and like so happy that you guys are here to be with the community here for DYGYCON. So it's been really great.
Oh, we got to be here. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, Waffles. We have next on the schedule. We're going to be heading over to Archmage.
Yeah. MaxPower. Yes.
Archmage with MaxPower, and let's go. I'm not even gonna do a transition scene. I'm just gonna show you guys exactly how we get around these spaces. DYGYCON 10 will be open for one more day, so if you want to get in here, it's not too late. You can meet with dozens and dozens. How many exhibitors do we have for DYGYCON 10? I don't even know. I lost count.
I think more than 100 every time.
Or over 100. So there's 20 different rooms. There's 8 different exhibitor halls. You've got activities and cornhole and fishing and all the things. Come visit the Splinterlands booth and make sure that you get set up. If you're not playing Splinterlands, that's the whole reason why we have this event, but also to celebrate Play to Earn. So there's lots of other Play to Earn games that are also here as well. This is the one place to come and find it all, really. So we're really excited for where this is going to go. So we'll see you in the next one. Let's bounce. All right, we're going to teleport. Let's go. All right, and that is how quickly we get from one room to the next. So I'm going to follow Waffles. Just walk my avatar. I can also sprint if I need to, holding down the shift key. I'm using WASD to move around through this space. But some folks like to do click to move, where you click on the floor and your avatar will follow to those locations. And oh, look at this. I found a star. All right, and let's get in this next AMA with Archmage with MaxPower. Let's go. Be right back. My audio is bugged. Be right back.
Like Max's name to tag him, but it's with the I, right?
Yeah, IVI.
Yeah, right?
I've arrived. I've made it. I couldn't hear anyone for a moment there, so I hope my audio is back.
No worries. I can
All
hear
right.
you.
Sound wonderful. All right.
Yep, we are waiting for Max to get in here. He's on his way.
Oh, yes, yes. So now we can say lots of terrible and hilarious things about Max on the live stream because Max is probably listening to it on his way over here right now. Wow, this is really exciting. Can we just do a callback to some of the return DYGYCON attendees? How many of you in here have been here since DYGYCON 1? Raise a hand. Raise a hand. I have T-shirts that I will make.
Really?
What?
Wow.
since DigiCon 1, this is now the 10th one, which means every other month, so bi-monthly, right? It kind of give you an idea that these events have really been going on. I know Aggie said almost 2 years, right? Are we almost into the second year? I mean, I know we're into the
very first one was November 2020.
goodness.
Right when, like, you know, COVID was like, you know, we're not going outside and all that stuff.
Oh
so
my.
Gotta find a way to meet up with our community, right?
Oh my goodness, we're gonna be Web3 grandparents here pretty soon, Waffles. We're getting so old. All right, how many?
That are here early. Maybe I'll repost the Dr. Blight skin in the chat.
Ah, yes, you want to get those skins. They are quite nice. So
Yeah.
this is how you do it. I'll do it on my screen while you. Please feel free to keep sharing those.
You said the instance is full.
Yes. Let me see. Let's see, 26.
Kick me if you need to.
Oh no, it's
No, there's 26 people here. We could have more.
He might be going to the wrong room. Yeah, just wait, guys. We've got a one-to-many experience coming in. We're calling it the main stage so that we can have a panel and then an unlimited number of people watching that happen in real time.
He said he's at the booth, so I don't know if you can drag him in here.
What we can do is we can move to his instance.
Yeah, let's all go. Let's all go get him. How's that sound?
All right, so let's go to Splinterlands.
All right, I'll explain it to anyone who hasn't done this before. Click on your location that you're currently in the upper right, where it says Splinterlands. You'll see a drop-down menu for the locations and a button that says teleport to another room. We're gonna actually teleport back to this room. So what we're gonna do is. Let me make sure and confirm my location.
This one? Oh, no.
And that's in... Okay, so we're in the Splinterlands room, in the other instance.
Yes,
okay.
We're in the Splinterlands room.
All right, go on the list, look for Splinterlands, and then just teleport to the other instance. can get some. Yeah, there it is. It's just we're
He's
just
not
creating
one of us, he's
sparks.
an imposter.
100%.
Wow.
All right, who did it? Who did it?
Not it, but I did give a lot of
Not it.
It was Colonel Mustard in the library.
It was. Oh, steak and eggs is here now, so the fun can resume.
Nice.
Wait, can you hear my soundboard? I feel
No.
like my soundboard isn't working. Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Very nice. Maybe it wasn't loud enough. Excellent. You know, I think my favorite ones.
Yeah, so waiting for Max to get back in here. But, yeah.
That's exciting. All right, while we're waiting for them, wait, is that him? Nope. Wait, oh, that's Max. Here he comes. All right, everyone, start sending him those emotes. Everyone, send thumbs down. Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
Hey, Max, you're here.
I'm here. I think we finally
Matt,
managed to get in here. There we go.
No worries. This is the cool thing too about this is, I mean, it wasn't cool that we all got kicked out. So hopefully no one's bums hurt on the way out. But this is the last talk of DYGYCON for the live stream. So if without further ado, let's just get right to it. So Archmage is a Splinterlands bot service that many members in our community are familiar with, and we have MaxPower here ready to take the floor to tell us more.
Perfect. All right, let me go ahead. I got some slides to share with you. They are the same slides that are on the booth here. So if you guys want to be able to review these after the fact, feel free to go ahead and click the info avatar thing near here for our booth, the NPC, and you could bookmark the booth to have these after the fact and whatnot. But I'll go ahead and dive in. Are you guys seeing the slides okay? Can you hear me okay?
Read you loud and clear, Max.
Perfect. All right, so Archmage. Archmage is the premier Splinterlands battle bot capable of high win rates from bronze all the way up into the champion leaderboard. We have hit the #1 spot on champion. We haven't ended in the #1 spot, but we've hit it a couple of times. We use your collection to play and earn for you while you work, sleep, or do whatever you want. We're set up that requires no coding. You don't need technical or programming skills to use the service. It's all completely hosted by us. We have our own smart hand selection that allows us to tap into a proprietary database that we have of winning strategies to leverage your hands, your cards, your assets to make the best use of them to give you the best chance at winning overall. It's not necessarily going to always play the hand that's going to win, but what it's going to do is it's going to help to make sure that you get the best chance of the most consistent wins, that your assets are put to work for you, even if you don't have time, if you're too busy. In order to get access to Archmage, we have a token system in order to do that. These are high vengeance tokens. We have Archmage A, which is our alpha pass, Archmage B, which is beta pass, and then Archmage, just itself, which is our standard access pass. And you can see the artwork for those there if you're looking for them. There is a giveaway that we have going on at the booth. I have a slide for that at the end. So if you guys are wanting in on Archmage and you want the chance to win one for free, I'll have more details about that. Continuing the overview. Other than an access pass, right now there are no other fees required. This is going on during our pre-launch period for the next 6 weeks or possibly longer, but possibly not. It depends on how long it's going to take us to get the reward fee system set up. In the future, we will have a fee system. That system is going to be based on the actual battles that Archmage wins for you, the rewards that it earns for you. You will pay a percentage of those earnings, of those winnings, in order to keep the bot running. Our goal at its heart is to make sure that you are always earning more than you're spending in order to use the service. We're still working out the specific details of what those will look like. We had to change things up a little bit in order to account for the new reward system. But that's how it'll work in the future. Right now, there's no other fees other than the token, but that's how that'll work in the future. Continuing on. So right now, if you want to get an original Archmage token, so it doesn't make a difference. These are fungible tokens, not NFTs, but it doesn't make a difference in terms of like collectability. But if you want to be able to get them at really the price we're releasing them at, which is about $25 currently, there's 3 ways to get them right now. You can leverage our exclusive partnership with Splash.gg. That's where we're dropping every week 50 tokens for the next 6 weeks. We've done it for 2 weeks already, so we're going to be dropping 400 tokens total. They cost $25, payable in S or DEC from your in-game balance. We're also doing some giveaways and promotions. We have, participation going on here at DYGYCON with the swag, and we're giving away 10 Archmage passes there to people who sign up for that. We're excited to do that. There's also, like I said, a specific giveaway that we're doing here at the booth from my personal stash of Archmage tokens. And then we did have a limited minting that team members from Archmage got access to. That's kind of up to the discretion of the Archmage team in terms of how those are distributed. And how they wanted to handle it. Basically, we've been leveraging them to reward the cool people in the community who didn't have access yet but wanted access, and trying to figure out a way to make that easier in light of kind of the land rush that we've been having with the pre-sale. All right, so if you want to get access to Archmage and you don't want to deal with the with the current chaos that we have going on with the pre-sale because of the amount of demand, you are able to get alpha tokens, beta tokens, and standard tokens on the secondary market. Do note the prices of these are really largely set by the users at this point. It's just market dynamics. There's a lot of demand and not very much supply, so the prices have gone up drastically. Both alpha and beta tokens, they are completely printed. There will never be more printed, so the supply that's available is the supply that's available. For the standard tokens, we will continually release more. That release schedule will continue to be a limited release over time as we do it in order to ensure that, again, our servers are able to handle the demand as we have coming on. It's not designed to create scarcity. It's not designed for anything. It's really designed to make sure that those who do get in and are able to use it, that they have a good service when they get there, and that we're not breaking from too many people trying to get in and use it. Continuing on. So for the pre-sale promotion, some of the things to note there, 50 tokens are minted per week. During the pre-sale process, you can buy 1 token per transaction. So far, our first drop sold out in 3 minutes. Our second drop sold out in about 3 seconds. There's a ton of demand. We're working to see what we could do to make sure that process is more fun for people. But as of right now, it's pretty extreme, the demand that we're having. So there's a selling out really quick. The tokens are payable, like I said, in DC or SPS, valued at $25 from your in-game balance. The token reservation, when you click the button, is valid for 5 minutes. And then the value of the cost is calculated at the time of the reservation when those drop. The token will be sent to the account that you buy it with, and then once received, you can then transfer it wherever you want to whatever account you'd want to use it with. Our requirements for the service itself: we require 1 token per account you'd like to bot. The token needs to be held in the wallet of the botted account. We have a minimum 5,000 CP requirement that could be owned, rented, or delegated. This is part of what we do to help make sure that we're going toward people who are investing in the system, and making sure that our requirements are actually a little bit higher than even Splinterlands itself, to make sure that people who are using this service are showing signs of investing in the service itself as well, or in the economy. You'll also need to have Hive keychain in order to be able to interact with some of the ways that we do the settings and the configs and stuff. And then you'll also you will provide your private posting key in order for us to be able to do this. That allows us to put battles through on your behalf. The worst thing that could happen is we could combine cards and we could write on Hive posts for you, but we don't do that, and we won't do that. But that's the worst that could happen. Feel free to do your own research on how the Hive wallet key system works. But overall, it's a fairly safe system that doesn't put your assets at risk or anything. We can't move your cards around. We can't pay, use your funds or anything. We basically could just submit that for you. That's what we do. Again, the service is run on our servers, doesn't require any installation on your local machine. So whether your computer is up or down, our bot can keep running for you. So who is Archmage for? This is really, I think this goes to the heart of the matter, a lot of the concern around this. We've designed Archmage, and we continue to try to go down this route as much as possible and adapt as we see the need to try and improve as well. But we are for players who love Splinterlands but don't have time to play every day. We're for players who want to let Archmage optimize your earnings while allowing you to just play for fun when you're able to. We're for players who become swamped with other commitments or life changes. We're for players with massive collections but don't have the time to play, but who still want to be connected to the game more than just renting, right? Renting becomes a little bit of a passive thing, where maybe you're less concerned about what cards are winning, and you're actually less interested in the meta of the game. By botting the account, we actually find that people are very interested and still pay attention to new releases and all of that, and are able to be involved. I know that's true, especially for myself. But really, we're here for new and experienced players alike who want a dedicated personal trainer they can learn from to improve their playing and see what cards they should target for buying or renting as well. Most of our members love to play the game as well as bot. It's not that they're botting because they don't like to play. It's that they're botting because you've invested in this game. You want to make sure those assets are going to work for you in the fully leveraged way possible, so that you have the ability to play for fun when you're able to, without the fear and that nagging thing of like, oh, I've got to go in and play more. Otherwise, I'm essentially wasting the opportunity that I've spent a good deal of money on. Who is Archmage not for? Well, we are not for massive bot farms with thousands of accounts. We are not trying to build up a massive ecosystem of one person trying to build up a web of things that are going to extract from the game. We're not looking to extract from the Splinterlands ecosystem. Rather, we're looking to participate in it. Most of the people that we work with, most of the people who are our users, they're using Archmage in order to get assets that they then buy more Splinterlands assets with, right? Most of us have that same addiction, I think, as probably the rest of you. People who don't care about the good of the Splinterlands ecosystem overall, we are not for those people. We are trying everything that we can within this world where the founders have made very clear that they aren't looking to remove bots, but they're looking to make sure that the system of Splinterlands is set up to not incentivize bots over being a human player. We care about the same things. When changes are made that hurt bot farms but are good for the players, we are all in favor of them as well. We're not looking to just extract things. We're very much looking for what's good for people and just being a tool there that's available to help bring some automation into that process for you. Our motivation. So these are some of the things that we think that bots actually bring to the Splinterlands, right? To the society here of Splinterlands. So botting allows players to stay connected to Splinterlands when they normally would have lost interest by giving them away to use their digital assets when they otherwise would have lost interest or the time to play. In my own personal experience, this is part of what I found. If I would just rent the cards, I probably would have lost interest and stopped paying attention a long time ago. But by botting accounts, I'm continually reinvesting money. I'm paying attention. I watch the town hall. I participate. I'm very interested and still actively engaged in this world where I might have lost interest otherwise. Bots provide a gameplay benefit to all players by providing a constant supply of opponents. With near zero wait time, ensuring that new and old players alike can hop into Splinterlands and always find an opponent ready to play, right? The people want to get in. They want to be able to play. Having some level of bots in the game actually makes sure that there's always a player ready to play. And on the other end, it doesn't really make much of a difference whether you're playing against a bot or whether you're playing against a human. The game on your end ends up being the same regardless. Bots help strengthen the entire Splinterlands economy by having another place where these assets are held and owned and stay, rather than flooding back onto the market in order to resell them. We actually help to make sure that the value of those assets are going to be staying as high as possible as well. By getting rid of this ability, by making that go away, part of what we risk is actually a flood of assets coming back onto the market for people who don't have the time to play in more of that traditional way. So those are some of the things that we think botting actually does to benefit Splinterlands as a whole. In terms of our current features, so we've already mentioned some of this. We've got no coding or hardware required. We make it easy. We got that sophisticated hand selection framework. One thing I didn't cover is that we have a very adaptable configuration. It allows you to adapt your play frequency from 1 to 4 times an hour. That changes over time depending on what we see as necessary. You can set things like a minimum ECR that you want the bot to play to. You can have it automatically reroll quests that that maybe your deck isn't well suited for, so that when that focus comes up that that your account doesn't handle well, we will automatically be able to make sure that it's re-rolled to try and get you a focus that your account can handle well. Lots of things that we could do there. It's very easy to transfer your tokens if you need to. Very easy to to sell them off if you decide that you're not needing the service anymore. Very easy to move them to a different account if you feel the need to do that. All of it is designed to make it as easy as possible for this to be set up and just run on your behalf. We've got some planned features in the future. So we are very quickly going to be rolling out support for Modern. Currently, the bot is only playing in Wild. One of our developers here, Proto, can actually probably tell you after this presentation about how long we're looking at before Modern is live for us. But it sounds like it's very soon, TM. Additional play schedules. So we're looking at adapting how we do the scheduling and making more varieties of ways for people to be able to adapt the schedule to their needs. We've got advanced focus completion strategies that we're looking at implementing. We're looking and considering at doing automated brawls as well to help people leverage that as well. We do not, however, currently have any plans to put the bot into tournaments. Specifically, like we've mentioned, we are very much paying attention to what Splinterlands, the company, the team is saying that they want to do in the direction that they want to take. And since Weirdbeard is in charge of tournaments and has expressly stated that they don't, that he doesn't want bots in tournaments, we're going along for the ride and we're going to say okay, and that makes sense to us as well. So we're not planning on offering that either because it's because that's what the official position has become. So what are the benefits? This question was asked actually before this presentation. What are the benefits of an Archmage A versus an Archmage B, an Alpha versus a Beta Pass? So the biggest thing is that the discount on the future reward system. Just a second. Let's get past it. There we go. So there's discounts on the future reward fee system. Again, I explained the reward fee system earlier. Alpha Pass is actually when we launch that reward fee system will be launched with $10 worth of preload funds. That was part of our initial Alpha promotion. That basically we sold the Alphas initially at $10, and then they got matched with an equal amount of funds that are going to be preloaded into that fee system for them. There's also some pre-launch airdrops going on right now during our pre-launch promotion. Every Alpha and Beta token that somebody holds qualifies them for a drawing that we're doing each week after each of our pre-sale token drops. An Alpha is worth 2 entries. A Beta is worth 1 entry. This last week, we got one lucky winner who got to get a chain golem, and then another who got a halfling alchemist. We're changing up what we're launching each week. We're partnering with different streamers to drop those to people. It's a fun way for us to give back to the people who invested early and reward them as well. In the future, as we roll out new features, Alpha and Beta holders are likely the ones to get access first. Essentially, we're always looking to reward those Alpha and Beta holders. So we're going to launch a new feature. Alpha and Beta likely get to test it first. If it's something that we roll out that's a paid feature that maybe not everybody gets access to, in some cases they're going to get that feature for free. If it's a paid feature, then they might get discounts as well. So depending on how pricing works, we'll determine at the time. But at the basic level, we're always looking to reward anybody who holds those Alpha and Beta passes. So those are kind of the main benefits of Alpha versus Beta as compared to a standard Archmage pass. All right, and then finally, so at DYGYCON right now, there is the swag promotion. I do recommend you go over to the swag booth when you get a chance, sign up. We're giving away 10 ARC tokens there through that process. But for anybody who wants a chance to win a token from my own personal collection, you can go ahead and at the booth, take a screenshot, make sure we can see your name in it. Join our Discord, drop a picture of that screenshot in our Discord. There's a dedicated spot for that. Show us that you were here, and then fill out the form that is there on that QR code there. And we're going to be doing a giveaway pretty quick here after DYGYCON is over. So there you go. I think I went through that as quickly as I possibly can. My plan here, hopefully, is to be able to answer some questions. But Waffles, how are we looking?
We're looking golden. Thank you so much. Like you just like like machine gun.
Could I
There you
please
go.
thank
So yeah,
everyone very, very much for coming? I don't know if I'm muted, but I just want to give a massive thanks from me to everyone for coming. I hugely appreciate it, and so does the whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that for anybody who doesn't know, that's Melon. He's one of our developers as well. And then I think I heard Proto and Imposter maybe both said that so as well. They're also from the Archmage team. I think our plan at this point is to stick around and be available to answer questions for anybody who has them. But yeah, that's our thing. That reason.
Small thing is that we accept both names. I personally grew up watching cartoons where there was like an Archmage something character, I think, and it's ruined me. A lot of people say Archmage in line with Archangel in the sort of traditional pronunciation, and we accept either.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I switch between both of them half of the time that I say it.
Well, let's ask the hosts here. Do you have any questions that you want to ask? Waffles, team?
I always have questions, but I want to give Waffles a chance to go first.
Well, I want to know like how a newbie like can get into something like this, because I know everybody's like, when we first talked before at previous DigiCon or even like at the most recent, just like what it's like to be busy and playing all of these different new projects, and then how to get everything set up so that you can almost like, you know, set it and like, you know, in terms of the UX UI, like importing things together, how your team works to streamline the process to like get this all set up, like what's that like, and like how's that for the end user?
I can try to answer if you'd like, Max.
Go ahead.
So we're a small team. That's the first thing to reiterate. Max is single-handedly responsible for setting this whole thing up. He is the marketing team. In terms of the development team, it's myself, Imposter, and Proto. Proto is by far the most talented coder out of us. Imposter has a lot of skill when it comes to hardware, and I think I just am good at waffling. Sorry to use your name in that way. And so, although Imposter and myself do have some ability with code as well. And so it basically comes down to time and when we have time. So our streamlining is still growing as the process is growing and the project is growing. Yeah, and basically we just try to keep everyone informed is the main thing of what we're doing and what stage we're at, and that seems to be working so far.
Yeah, some of the jokes that are coming in through chat are really getting to me, because I have vision Max is at his place multi-boxing, and there's just no bot. It's just Max over there trying to play as many games as he possibly can. Somebody were saying thank you for playing their DigiCon or playing their Splinterlands account while they were enjoying DigiCon.
It's
Max
powered by a giant hamster wheel.
Oh yeah, blue
That's right. That's right.
Oh man, so you're a man of very I guess multitasking is one of your stronger skill sets. So well done on that. I guess one question that I have, because we are getting close to the end of the live stream, we got to wrap up. The idea of bots is generally something that's, like taboo, right? So you brought up the issue of like, hey, we want to really point out the benefits of having these bots enter into the community as a service to the players themselves. Where did you realize along this journey that botting could be something that could help supplement the way that the value is created in these marketplaces?
I come from a background in correspondence chess. Sorry, Imposter, I just to leap straight in, but this is what I'm hoping to talk about on Crypto Llama stream and Ape of Wall Street stream over the next couple of days. But in correspondence chess, chess engines are allowed. So you're allowed to plan your next move by whatever kind of analysis you've got available to you, whether it's a book or a friend or whatever. That's always been the case in correspondence chess. And yeah, so there are people in chess. That argument has been going on in chess since at least the mid-90s. And so it's not a new argument to me, people saying, you know, this is ruining the game. People were smashing textile mills in the 19th century because they were ruining clothing. So, you know, this kind of thing is not new and it's not surprising. And the main thing for me is just to reiterate that we're a diverse community of human players who use automation. That's what I keep trying to repeat. So Imposter had something to add there too.
Yeah,
hopefully I didn't make him forget what he wanted to say.
No, not at all. It comes down to if you look at the feedback and the chats on the bot discussion, a lot of players say, well, if you're going to allow bots, let everybody have access to one, and one that is good, right? And I think that's one of my goals is barrier to entry. If the ecosystem has them, I would like more people that would like to use the type of automation have access to it without a ton of technical barrier to entry, which kind of levels that playing field of, well, you can't stop them completely, but let's see how this can synergize with a human player that wants to actually participate. We try to do what we can to limit our direct sales to thousands and thousands of bot farms. But I mean, if the market decides to sell 1,000 tokens to a bot farm, we're hard to police that, right? So it comes down to, I think that our goals have been to try to open those doors for the users that are interested in the topic, want to see how it works, and get access to something that is top tier and functional, that they don't have to run on their computer. They can shut their computer down. It's all hosted. You know, you don't have to collect data. You don't have to do any of the intricacies. You can just use the product.
Mm-hmm. It was akin to, you know, proof of work. I think if we're running algorithms using video cards and we've automated it to mine Bitcoin, isn't that a bot? Like, aren't we running these programs so that, you know, you can then mine a digital asset to then add to the total ecosystem and add, right, more assets that then can be part of it? You know,
does machine work count as work?
Machine, yeah, exactly. That's a really good point, and I feel like the accessibility differential advantage is really why I think people are so upset about bots. Is that if I don't have access to those same tools, then I'm never going to be able to compete against these whales that are out there that can afford all this technology. So I think reducing the barriers and reducing the friction, you know, there's certainly a market for that, and I think if done what appears to be, you know, with the developer in mind, it sounds to me like this is a partnership where, you know, you want to take in the input from the game developer and take in the input from the end user as well. So yeah, I commend you for the work that you're doing and trying to, you know, do this in as much of, you know, in an ethical way as possible.
That's it, and thank you. And that said, what we see is that people don't quit the game. Once they have 4 games an hour ticking over minimum on their account, they go and watch Twitch streams about Splinterlands, or they go and hop into Discord chats, or they, you know, go on Peak Monsters or whatever, because they don't have to sit there playing 4 games an hour. That's our experience, I think, on the whole.
Yeah, I will argue that there's also bots that exist in AAA, like standard games, right? You go to Black Desert, you go to World of Warcraft, you don't see it as a bot, but they've built in tools for you to do auto harvesting based on, right, NPCs that you can hire, right, that go and get some of those materials for you. So there's a lot of really interesting overlap I see between games that don't even give you anything that allow that kind of botting to exist. You know, obviously, you know, with limitations, but it's there, and I think that it isn't necessarily, you know, we don't have to point out every single scenario in which it exists, but I think for the sake of, you know, this conversation, it was felt important to point out. But that's it for me. I'm gonna shut up. Waffles, did you want to close this out, or any other final words from the Archmage team?
One
anything
last,
from you guys?
Yeah, one last thing I wanted to add. There isn't really a single hand that just wins everything. So even if there are bots out there, you can beat the bots. I beat our bot. Some Proto beats our bot. I mean, if you play well, bots aren't something really that are going to take over. They're just there.
Yeah, there's enough RNG, I think, with Splinterlands that would make it very difficult for us to, you know, have bots that I feel will just take over how the game is played. And if a game is developed well,
Splinterlands is chess. Sometimes Splinterlands is paper, scissors, rock.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's enough RNG, I think, in there. There's a good delicate balance. But anyway, Waffles, we have had a great day 2 for DYGYCON. There's still one more day. You can get in here if you go to DYGYCON.com. You'll find the event link where you can participate here in the metaverse. Meet over 100 plus play to earn games that all have booths in here of different games that you can play and try. Coming from Hive and Wax as well. We really are grateful for all the contributions of everybody coming in. Waffles, again, I want to speak your praises for all the hard work and effort that you put in to making this event come to life. Without you, it wouldn't happen. So thank you, everybody. Please give her some love when you see her. She works very hard day and night to bring everyone together for this event. And so what's left for us? Are we ready to say goodbye?
Yeah, let's close it out in the welcome by the photo booth, and we'll give some prizes out for the end of the stream, and we'll close it out.
All right, excellent. We'll see you there in just a minute.
All right, can you hear me, Pete?
Loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. So, so thank you so much, everybody, for coming to DYGYCON. It's been a wonderful experience with everybody here. Obviously, there is a lot for everyone to explore here. And with all the speakers that we had today, just wanted to reiterate to what most people say: not financial advice. Do your own research, right? So with that being said, it's not I have time to delve into all the little comments. I want to be able to reach out to everybody, so I'll be available during the whole duration of DYGYCON all around the event. So make sure you just send all your questions to me. I'll try to catch everything I can during the stream. And without further ado, let's try to give out some prizes here. I have a couple Spinner Talk NFTs from the Chaos Legion lore set that our team has given me. So I have some of that, and then I'll have various other things that I'm going to give. So let's just start with some trivia. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream about Splinterfest, and that's been talked about throughout the past couple weeks. Does anybody know the date of Splinterfest, the IRL that's in Las Vegas? Put it in chat.
Oh, I want to say it so bad. My vote does not count.
You're so close. You're close.
He's just going to start putting in every date of the month.
Putting everything, right? You could even Google it.
It's a 2-day event, FYI.
Yes, it is a 2-day event. Okay, cool. On our Twitch chat, Raptaki put it in first, October 8 to 9. So close, guys. Okay, so Raptaki, I will write down your name here. And I will reach out to you. I'll send you a DM on Twitch, and then I can give you your options for prizes. I have a little prize pool, so I will message you on how to redeem your prize. So thanks for that. Next question. So most recent Splinterlands summoner that begins with Grandmaster name is, who knows this? Who knows this? Grandmaster what? Yes. I see. Felipe Kien or Keen? Yeah. You guys got it. Yeah, good job. You misspelled it, but I will give it to you. Let me write this down. And if you were following on the live stream today when we had our Splinterlands team kind of do like an informal AMA with a couple of our team members, who was the last member of the team to join us? Who knows the answer to that?
I know.
Let's see if anybody knows. No, it wasn't MaxPower. It was 3 letters. 3 letters. Oh my gosh, Virus with a 5. You are so close. No, it wasn't Matt. I did mention him. Okay. So both on Twitch and here, yes, it's HTT exactly. So I'll give it to both Virus and Moshe. Yeah, Mosho. You're a veteran here at DYGYCON.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you mentioned trivia and giveaways from the other rooms, you know, like if they're hanging out elsewhere, it's like, well, wait a minute. Because I think there's only a 3-second delay on the stream.
4th of July is back. For every toy celebration in July, sportsmen will donate 5K to the Red Cross. I hope you've been rehearsing and you're ready to raise some cash for a very worthy cause.
I'm going to bet that he's from Australia. Yeah? I thought he was like watching a baseball game, but no, it's just an Australian newscaster. All right, what's the next giveaway that you've got?
I have 4 prizes that I'm giving out. Raptaki, Felipe, Virus, and Mosho. Pete, did you want to ask any trivia on your end? I can give out 2 more prizes.
2 more prizes, yeah? All right. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Waffles did mention during the live stream when the first DYGYCON took place. Can anyone remember those dates or the year?
No, not
not
2019. Nope.
There it is, Imposter. He's got it. It was in 2020, the first one.
Yes, it was Imposter. Thank you. Nice.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, November 2020 was the first DYGYCON.
Yeah, it looked very different than what you see now. Even though, you know, we think we've polished it as much as we can. No, it's gonna constantly need work. I mean, it's called the Clunkyverse for a reason, guys.
Oh my gosh, on Twitch, Birds, Bees, and Trees said 10 years ago. Oh my gosh, I wish.
Right, 10 years. Oh my goodness.
We are just barely in our second full year.
Well,
so,
think
like
about
Aggie
this,
said.
Waffles. This event is unique in that it started online, but then is evolving into Splinterfest, which is happening in person. So, you know, Splinterlands.
Well, this was born from us wanting to do
Yeah.
Splinterfest, and then COVID, right? And so this is us, like, you know, trying to get back to where we wanted to be. And now we are going to be holding a Splinterfest, so that will be super exciting. And if anybody comes, they will be able to take selfies with me at Splinterfest. It'll be a super fun time, so hope to see you guys there too. I have one more prize to give away. It's gonna be something between Splinter Talk NFT, maybe even an art commission from me. I'm actually giving an art commission prize for completing the scavenger hunt, so be sure to check that out. Let's see. All right. Well, the answer is already on here, but what is Gamer Drive rebranding to? First person to say it. Yes, Lucifer, you got it.
That's the easiest.
Easy.
Easiest one.
Yeah, it was.
All right, cool.
That's
so
great.
I think that is just about all we have. So I guess I'm just going to, real quick, the NFT auction house is in the welcome room. We have a couple items there that are already like reaching prices I can't afford now. But but be sure to check that out. It's third-party action. There will be a link for each, and then I think Mouse Hunt has theirs as a special Dutch style auction, so I might be able to snag something there. A little bit about the sponsors and stuff. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for everybody. We have over 100 sponsors here having booths here at the event. Our sponsored halls include Atomic Hub, Green Rabbit, Hive, MSQ, which is Market Square, Nifty Blocks, NFC Horizon, Realm of Cuboids, of course Splinterlands, and then also in our we have a special presentation theater room by Tarot Cards. So thank you so much, everybody. You guys really make this event. The community really does show up really strong here. And another thing I want to bring up, I actually made a little list of who you should look out for some drops and stuff. So give me 1 second. Let's see. All right. So some secrets here. I mean, Lucifer, if you're okay, I wanted to say that you are offering stuff at your booth over here. We also have Atomic Hub, Waxel World, the Online Inn, Train of the Century. I don't think I'm catching all of these, so be sure to check everybody. Check out all the booths. Digital Dutch, that's like you were saying, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have something with them. Senior Lupe has some stuff. Cray Cray Bees, Token Girls, Kaleidoscope NFT, Cat Stickers, Red Panda, Deck of Varmints, Orderworks, NFC Horizon, Consumer Break. There's so much more. Be sure to look everywhere. And if I didn't mention it and there is something, can you just DM me so I know, so I can pick up a drop too? But yeah,
I have an announcement as well. I have an announcement as well. So on the new Inverse website, about.inverse.app, we are now opening up waitlist. If you want to apply to get a part of the waitlist, we have a form to fill out for anyone who wants to have a chance to be the first at your own personal Metaverse room. We're calling this Genesis Suites. This is going to be a new offering on the Inverse platform where you'll be able to create your own room, design it, put NFTs in it, invite your friends to it, and have your own private space just for you. And you could decide who goes in there, but you will own it. It'll be your room. It'll be yours. We're still figuring out the details on how it'll be minted, but there will be complete digital ownership over these rooms on what they look like. So this is a really big deal, guys. Head over to about.inverse.app in order to go to our website. It's at the bottom. The CTA is there. If you want to fill out that form, we've asked a lot of questions because really this is being designed with you in mind. So please go there, and we're really excited to see what your responses will be. We have a very specific Discord channel that's set up for those that are interested in getting on the wait list for Genesis Suites. We're only going to have maybe 10 or 50 rooms available initially before we roll out another wave of additional rooms. So yeah, get in there. Don't waste your time. Don't hold out on, or don't wait on this, because this is something that, you know, the more people that try to get in on this is going to be harder for us to make that decision. So get in there now. Don't wait. and we really look forward to launching that at a stage where we're going to invite you to come in and start creating and curating that space, because we want you to be able to represent the NFTs that you own in a digital world, in your own kind of like metaverse experience that can then become, you can use it for however you like. Anyway, I am really excited, Waffles. Thank you again for letting me share that.
Yeah, of course. And once again, guys, we want to thank everyone for participating with us today. We still have one more day of DYGYCON left. Thank you for participating during this jam-packed live stream. We didn't really have any breaks, so kudos to you, Pete, for just hanging in there with me. You've been amazing, and it's just great, like, hanging out with you and just,
thank you.
Organizing all this. So, yeah, everybody, please take time to visit any booths you haven't had a chance to. Follow all the amazing orgs, projects, personalities. DYGYCON is hosted every 2 months, so please follow us. We will be running it back. And a video on demand will be posted on our YouTube, so be sure to check that out. Just please enjoy yourself and meet this diverse group of people here. Where I've been seeing people here in every single time zone, so that shows how little sleep I've been getting.
Yeah. And this event's not over. It's going to be open through Sunday. Meet the 100+ play-to-earn games that are here in this event venue. Visit all the exhibitor halls. There's lots to do. Don't miss out on any of it. And we look forward to DYGYCON 11, where we should have more details about Splinterfest, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, we will. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing somebody running in the back emoting. Let's kick it off. Let's end the stream with all these emotes flying around here.
Yes, if you find the button, get some love up there. Send some claps and some applauses. Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, it looks so good. Let me take a screenshot.
Got it. Yeah. I've got some
Thank you so
clips.
much, guys.
This is brilliant. Thank you all. All right, I'm going to sign off. That's it for me. I've got some swimming to do, y'all. This has been a wonderful day, and I will be back. Don't worry. I think Waffles, you're going to stick around. There's lots of, like exhibitors that you can still talk to. I mean, the fun is not ending here, guys. There's lots to do in here. This is going to continue on through Sunday. Don't miss out. Cheers. Waffles, thank you again for inviting me to this. This is so much fun.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Non, chat va jamais sortir parce que Gad va jamais être ça.
I am the guy that asks the hard questions.